Hello, boys and girls.
Hello, all.
Guan, what's going on? What's popping? The bounce is what? The bounce
is feeling good.
Okay.
And great. We announced our shows today.
We did.
But I mean, by the time this comes out, it will be 31st.
It will be long gone. So, don't worry about it.
I mean, you never know.
No, it would have sold out. We know I don't like things like that. I don't like things like that.
But yeah, I mean, fantastic stuff.
We announced UK and Ireland. Shout out to all of you pointing out that Dublin is not in the UK because the rest of us did not go to school. Do you get? You're so fun at parties. It's crazy.
Yeah, they were very annoyed. I was like, okay.
I was like, it's a bit. Just, go. We know, dear. We know. But just, it's all the same. Anyways, that's what's happening. And then, for other people that don't live in those places, let's just see what happens.
Yes.
We're benevolent individuals. We have somebody here from one of the places that everybody has been shouting at us. Canada.
I'm rolling my
Toronto.
I'm rolling my
We're coming.
eyes.
That's the thing. You
guys want us to go on our knees?
No, we are.
Let me tell you something. Canada, Toronto in particular, you guys are jokers.
Let me know that you guys don't even really want us to come.
Jokers.
That's actually what I've concluded.
The city doesn't want us to come.
The city doesn't want us to come.
No, I know you think I'm joking.
Okay, then if you can't come to Toronto, go to Ottawa.
Ottawa.
I'm actually being dead serious.
The thing is, people don't rate Canada as a whole.
No, the city hates us.
The city hates us. The bills
we tried
that
to
we
come.
Saw,
hey, we said no. Wow. They said
let me tell you something.
Only.
Toronto is costing us more than
every other thing combined.
The UK and Ireland
combined.
And we say don't do Toronto, go to Ottawa.
I know they go Toronto.
So you people don't like Canada.
Toronto.
Get away,
Montreal, Quebec, zero.
Montreal is a vibe.
What's the one place? Uzbekistan.
Azbek what? Saskatchewan.
Calgary. Well done. Mm-hmm.
No, okay, on a real though, I feel like if you're listening to the podcast from Toronto, you guys, we need to figure out how I said what I said is going to come to us because clearly they would rather go to the moon at this point.
How do you guys do events?
But we're going to America.
Let me ask you a question.
That's what I'm saying. You guys are going roundabout.
How do you guys do events there? Like realistically?
I don't know. They run it and we go. I don't want to consign me. They run it and we go. We see people coming.
You guys look like you're having a good time, and I'm like, okay, but you're not spending billions, which is what will be required. If we did that show, you guys have to 1 billion per person.
No, I feel like
if we do it, the tickets have to be $100.
Will be honestly 1 billion.
I'm telling you.
Have you seen when Ashake came to Toronto?
No, not Ashake.
Ashake is a different.
No, I'm trying to say that Ashake tried to run $100 in Toronto.
It didn't work at me. You see now.
Yeah.
But I think
it's crazy.
It's crazy. I know. I hear events people complain.
Let me know, like the prices are like I was so shocked because it's not like it's like how you get to the till in America and whatever you thought the price was is never the price because people have not figured out how to just simply put one thing on the label. Mm-hmm. Like what the tax is before I got there. Why didn't you add it? That's exactly what happened in Toronto. We discussed everything. Next thing you know, we just started hearing plenty policies. Yeah. This one, that one. I said, wow.
And we were still like, okay, let's see, because everywhere has like all these policies like insurance, costs, and workers. Staff, even if they are unionized. By the time they came, it was like double. No, it was so the when we saw the whole, in fact, we were excited.
Yeah.
We were like, bring this bill now.
This is affordable.
Adding things. I was like, but this is normal. Like they add these everywhere. Our bill went from like 10 kids, 30 kids.
It was astronomical.
All I have to say is welcome to Canada. Welcome to Canada.
And I used to like Trudeau.
Ooh, please, we don't like
Nobody
Trudeau
likes him.
I thought it was
leave that guy back. The finest don't watch everything. But never see how fine he is anymore.
Do you get? So I don't know what's going on in Canada, but you guys are supposed to be a supporter of Nigerians.
Anyways, we'll track it. But when did you say you're going to get America?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. America. Don't worry.
North America. To be pressed.
Anyway, we'll move. How are you? What's popping?
You don't even say who it is. We just
sorry. Okay, maybe know you.
Maybe know you.
Hi everyone, my name is Alma. My name is Alma. I've been on this podcast before. When we were still baby, I said baby side it and side that. And then I think I'm just happy to be here. Honestly, I just came to church.
Yeah, this is the
nothing
Alma
too
Chronicle.
deep. Oh yes, should I do my full bio?
Sure. That's why I'm like, please don't
okay.
be modest.
My name is Alma. I am an entrepreneur and content creator. I own the Alma Chronicle and also I'm the face behind the Alma Chronicle, and I also own a clothing brand called Fade, which I just launched in May of 2024.
Love that.
In case you're listening to this in the future.
That's a lot better. Love it. So new things have come up. We can talk about them, including Fade.
Oh yeah.
Since then, in fact, a lot of things have happened.
In fact, a lot of things. You went on sabbatical.
I did.
Just like a lot of really cool things have happened since then.
Yes.
I found it fascinating how fascinated people were by that.
By me going on a sabbatical?
Yeah, it was a whole thing.
Every time Alma answers a question, I said, nah, wow.
Okay, so context, I took 1 year off to relax and just take a sabbatical from like my 9 to 5. And I talked about it, I think, like once or twice. Yeah. And then people would ask me questions like, oh, how did you take a year off and stuff like that? Then I did a YouTube video and I got more questions. And then I did an article on Business Insider. And I still keep answering questions about like, how did I take a year off to just kind of like relax? So I guess, I
feel like if you just pick a random, and there was one, you posted something and I was looking, you went to some Tory Burch event so a while ago. I promise you, I was just looking at the comments just in general. I said, can you not see what we're talking about here? How does it concern? It was almost like the person was like, okay, lovely.
Anyways.
About the
sabbatical. But what have you been up to recently?
What have I been up to? Well, I took my sabbatical. I came off of it. I was trying to find a job. The job market is bloody. And then I was like, I did a couple interviews. I launched my clothing brand. And then I realized that, okay, I'm just going to give this like 100%. But what have I been up to lately? I've been coming to Nigeria a lot because all my friends are getting married.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah, by the time this comes out, Dimma's wedding would have passed.
Yes. So we can talk about this because that's why I'm in Lagos. So, weddings, my mother asking me when it's going to be my turn, why I keep coming to Lagos, running my own clothing brand, life, just in general, just trying to figure out what I'm even doing. Because I feel like before I took my sabbatical, I had an idea of what I was doing. And then after I took my sabbatical, I was like, oh, more as a career babe, like, what are you doing?
Did you think
like,
you were definitely going to go back into like career babe mode?
Yeah, I think I'm still going to go back. Because I say like 9 to 5 money is the easiest money you can make.
It is. And the thing is, I've never made it. And I find that to be crazy.
FK is very tempting. It's very easy money to make.
No, now you're good at your job.
I paid many people 9 to 5 money and I'm just like, fuck.
Yeah, I know. Trust me. So to me, it's like I'm trying to decide when. It's not decide because I've been kind of applying to jobs here and there, but I'm not taking it very, very seriously. Right. But I want to go back to my 9 to 5. I feel like I still have a few more years in me to do corporate. I learn the most when I'm in a corporate environment.
Really?
Yes.
Like what?
I love structure. Maybe just kind of the person I am. I love structure. I love people telling me what I'm doing, what is expected of me, and how I'm going to, and then me figuring out how to deliver. Yeah. As an entrepreneur, I have to figure out everything myself, and it's very overwhelming.
You have to design the process.
I have to design the process, and then I have someone that I pay, an intern, and someone on my team that's an intern, and I'm just like, I have to also know what you're doing. Like, do I even know what I'm even doing? Yeah. So I think that's just the thing. It's like I'm trying to figure out, okay, at what point will it be great for me to go back into the hustle and bustle of a 9 to 5? But I'm obviously, I don't know how I'm going to figure it out because now there's Fade. Right? But we'll figure it out.
But people do both.
Now I'm going to be doing 3. Fade, Alma Chronicle.
Yeah, that's true.
I define money.
What have you been doing?
This week? God knows, my dear. When did we come back? I don't remember anything that's going on.
The wedding.
Oh, yeah. I know.
So we came back on Monday.
We came back on Sunday. You know, I feel like since then, I've just been like doing work. What did I do? Okay, no. So I've been doing work, and then on Wednesday, I went to dinner with Jake and Angela, who came in for different...
Another friend's wedding.
Yeah,
again, all our friends are
getting married. So he came in for another friend's wedding. She was also a bridesmaid in the other friend's wedding. And you know, the funny thing was, what we were saying was, now every time someone drops their wedding dates, the first thing is, I'm just like, please don't let it clash with someone else's so that I don't have to choose.
Yeah.
It's so upsetting, but it keeps happening. Like in October, on the date of one of my friends' wedding, there's 2 others, and I'm just like, okay, so the thing is, one is already outside the country and like I'm going. I can't go to the other two. It's highly irritating.
You can't stop by.
And I just want to be like, are you sure about moving your day? Like, what do you think about Sunday? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, so now it's like happening, you know, this is the second time it has happened to me this year.
This year.
Yeah, just this year. That like the weddings, it has never happened. It was never even a consideration before. But, you know, we're always saying it that last to marry is a clown.
My dear.
So everyone is...
At this point, maybe even last to propose.
Do you know what I mean?
Before you even walk down, I like to get down on the knee.
I feel like, do you know what? I think an enterprising person should do this. I feel like we need a general social circle wedding calendar. Like a broad social circle wedding calendar where like you just mark different... I don't know how to do it where you won't reveal everybody's details. But just so that we know that, okay, these are all the things going on this day, because it's always too much. And sometimes by the time it's different levels. Obviously, if it's your close friends, you know early. But there are people that like, you literally, maybe 2-3 weeks ago, I literally bumped into someone and they were like, please, that reminds me, my wedding is in December. Let me quickly send you the information. So I was like, okay, this is even early.
Yeah.
We're in December. But things like that also happen where I don't even have any plan. But other people that you jam, their wedding is in October. And so we just need a general way for the social calendar to come into play where we all know what's going on. So that you can know that if I'm putting my wedding on this day, is it going to clash with someone else that we have like a Venn diagram of friends?
Yeah.
Where we have mutual friends in the middle. Because I would hate that.
I think it just, like me, I had to decide because like people are doing trad here, then they will have to travel. Or
which one you're going to?
Like I have to decide, and I think I'm tapped out of the Nigerian one. But then it's also, like you said, it's like, if two people are doing wedding on the same day, it's just kind of like, who are you closer to? Who can I just run after party?
Yeah.
Because I feel like if we're being honest, most of us go for after party.
Of course.
Yeah.
Like that late reception after party.
Truth,
yeah, and some friends don't actually, so there are degrees of closeness.
Exactly.
Also, some people enjoy you at a party, but would actually feel away if you came for the reception and you left.
Yes, for sure.
Really?
Yes, so they want you at the party. So, but if you came for the reception and then you left, they'll be like, if you came for the reception, you left, and then they can see you at the other after party. It's somehow... Some people's feelings will be hurt. They'll be like, because to them, that's... You know, for a lot of people, the after party has all the elements that they can control. It feels like more
that's their
and
own time.
The thing is, you actually don't see a lot of couples at the reception. You see them at the after party.
Yes, because they're greeting or on stage or whatever, and they mingle at the party. And so the thing is, you don't want the perception that like, if in the past where there have been two weddings on the same day, we all end up at the more fun wedding. The problem is, I always wonder how the other people in the less fun wedding
I doubt that.
Because
I doubt that they notice.
Obviously, there's a couple, but what is happening is there's a slow progression of all your guests. Not all.
No, but it's different. But the truth is that your guys are still there.
They're still there,
so they don't actually care. It's people that are bad mind like us that.
It's you that you're the one thinking about it like that.
Yeah, but I just don't think. I think it would
on
be
that day. It's not what I would notice. It's the next day that I'll be like, maybe the next day when you're seeing like Instagram, they're like, come on, why is everyone slowly progressed to like the wedding that everyone is having?
But again, but I think it's also a thing where it's not a real complete, because actually not my business, but I have a thing about weddings in general where I feel it's too templatey. So everything from what people wear to what people decide to do is the same. You and your partner are not actually party people.
Yeah. So why are
you having this? Like, this is not your thing.
What are those people that
because what's making you more annoyed is that in your mind you made the effort and now people are
not
didn't register you as this type couple.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes people it's like, oh, excuse me, I'm Yoruba, so the actual style. I'm like, this doesn't say anything about you.
Yeah.
This is not like. I don't know how to explain it.
I get exactly what you mean.
I feel like more and more people feel under pressure to have a cookie cutter thing that people would take off. Like, and they did this and they did... But it's not really... People are getting more agitated about the money they are spending and even the time they are investing, because this is not really you.
It's so funny you say that, because my friend, one of my close friends, I was a bridesmaid. She had a wedding, and then she's not really a party person. But then when it was time for what we thought would be the after party, and we said to see the hall closed down, we were like, what's going on? And she was like, I don't understand. Did you want to know that I was not going to have like a big after party? Like, we did a 1 hour dance after the parents left, and they were like, by 10 o'clock we're out of that wedding.
Do you know, I love
And then we start saying, okay, so where are we going to? Because we all thought that there was we're gonna have a proper after party. And I liked that because I was like, I never would have pegged her for an after party.
But just an expectation.
But it was just an expectation that she was just like, guys, come on, like, it's better we just go to Zaza or something.
Yes, I think people should be able to like try other things now. Like, it's not
I don't even have an idea of what else you can do, but like if it's just not your vibe,
there are
like
some people that
do a chilled,
some people
whatever.
Should actually be having like
wedding brunch. Honestly,
the next day.
No, as in the wedding.
It should be a brunch.
It's a brunch.
Morning. Have brunch. See, some people, I'm actually being serious. Have a nice brunch. And 4 p.m. everybody has gone home because this is not your
vibe, to be honest.
That was, I mean, like some of these things is genuinely like sometimes when you ask people about their weddings, they just start frowning and it's like, oh, you know, we had to. And a part of me is thinking, you don't have to.
You don't.
People are so fickle and so mean that it's not worth the effort. People that say, the same people that are making effort, not saying,
but it wasn't really sweet. It wasn't this, and I'm like, you know what? I think people should take this up.
Yeah, I've been saying this, and I think it's just I understand
get more like personal with their
I understand
plans.
if you feel a bit under pressure if there's like lots of people traveling in, right? And you feel like you need to give them an experience.
That traveling in is even different because like now it's like if I come in for a wedding, there's a whole week of things. Like
there is.
We do the beach day and it's cute, and we do like the bridal shower. There's a Zaza night before the actual wedding.
Yeah.
And then you do the actual wedding and then you do after party. And I remember the last time
you have to be conscious of like, so obviously you flew in and you're Nigerian. Like, you have to be conscious of you people. Might have guests that like maybe they flew in from Accra. They don't. So if there's a free day, you are not my concern. You know, as in you have what you're doing. I now have to mind about what about these other people that might not have anything? They don't have transport. They more.
What me? I was like, I had to pull my friend aside last time. I was like, how are you prepared for this? Because it's not inside your wedding. This is part of your wedding. She says it's part of the wedding. I say, wonderful. So we're going to start to drink part of your wedding, but we'll still drink at the wedding. And I'm just like, you people.
I do think it's like a lot of
money. I remember my first like pre-wedding week thing, and it was one of friends that also had a lot of people from fly in for the wedding. And I was just like, when I saw the itinerary, I said, sorry, I can't lie to you. This is actually plenty things. Like, as in hope nothing. So it was just like you said, it was literally the wedding was the trial was Saturday. Friday was the shower. Wednesday night was like a bridesmaids only, like chilled house gathering. But like, and then aunties came, mothers, prayer. But like, there was still dinner, still had to make food, blah, blah, blah. But it was small and like bridesmaids and like mommy and some aunties praying, just intimate thing. Thursday was a big beach day. Came back for the beach. People who didn't live in Nigeria went to dinner. We had to follow them to dinner.
Of course.
Friday was shower. But after the shower, there was another thing for people again who don't have what they're doing. They took some people to like, was it Nikki Art Gallery in the day. There was just different things going on. Then Saturday was the wedding, and then Sunday was post-wedding brunch.
What do you mean by post-wedding brunch?
A lot of people flew in.
So
they were leaving on like Sunday night mostly. So just by the virtue of there are like 10, 15 people around, it wasn't not like official, but we're going to brunch tomorrow. But then everyone else like in the wedding party was like, okay, since the couple is going. So now you're hosting a 50-person brunch again.
I just find some of these things, I just find this pressure to be so interesting. And I feel bad for people as well because so it's all like this weird dance. So you feel you have to invite certain people. And by virtue of them making the effort, you then have to make it worth their time. So you're doing all these things and getting anxious and not just about them having fun, but then there's all this money to be paid and stuff. So sometimes I feel it's really bad for people who are under that pressure.
It's another thing when you have people that are not Nigerians and don't know how to navigate Nigeria. You're worried like, oh, are you guys okay? How are you getting from point A to point B? It's like, okay, driver, it's like this. It's like, and you're like,
exactly. That's what I mean. It's a lot of like logistics, accommodation, just making sure people are okay. And just feeling like, okay, everybody came for me. Of course, flying is an effort.
Yeah, it is.
And then the other part of it that was so funny to me was also like, because all of us are now feeling bad. And the thing is, I always say that bringing a bridesmaid is expensive because of all these contributions. that you have to make. I think for guys it's much worse.
I don't know what guys do.
We pretty much
They do a lot of drink. They do a lot
of like sending money just for stuff. Whereas we do more like the shower, maybe like the night
we
out.
do a lot more emotional.
Exactly. Like the gift thing.
No, but just emotional presence. We have more emotional
and stuff
presence.
that's very geared towards just your friend.
Yeah. True.
But guys are like just sending money. Like they'll just call, okay, guys, you're sending minimum whatever. And I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
I find that, I don't know, I just wish people were a lot more independent minded. So for instance, like, it would be nice, particularly as we get older, some of the complaints are now more confusing to me because I don't, like, this is supposed to be, I always say, but you know, the whole point of the thing is they are meant to be happy. Yeah. Right? Like, you do know the entirety of it.
But you know that typically, especially like the trad, it's not about your happiness.
I mean, I hear that, but at the same time, what I'm trying to say is we already accept all those ones, but there are now even more extras that are getting
There's so many more extras that like we've never seen before.
I've been to a trad that when the plan started, I could see her and I told her that, babe, you actually can't afford this thing. And I'm not saying it to be funny. Yeah. Like, you can't afford it. And emotionally, it's taking a lot out of you.
Yeah.
So you need to start
cutting it down.
Yeah. And you need to start making a whole fuss about, you just feel like so much is going to be happening on Saturday.
Yeah.
And how did they almost half their budget? If you got there by 4:00, there was nothing.
They're joking.
They were done because it is that endless entertainment that was putting them under pressure.
Yeah.
So it's like, people will just come after and have drinks. And that is an extra 3.5 million. I'm like, you can't afford this thing. Traditional wedding, don't sell Ashwebi. Let people either collect gele or filler. And tell them honestly that, do you know that we're actually starting this thing at 12?
Yeah.
So by the time you come, if you come later than like 3,
we'll be done.
Nothing is going to be there. Like, literally caterers are packing up. Yeah. And she felt like, won't it be somehow? So I had to have this conversation. I said, somehow to who? You actually cannot. Like, this thing is making, you're fighting with your fiancé. Your parents are arguing. Your in-laws and your parents are arguing. Just because all of a sudden, everybody is under this immense amount of pressure to entertain and be entertained.
People. Yeah.
All the guests they invited on Thursday. And not only, I also come on Saturday with more. So what?
So why do you have to
How did we get? She was like, and then we need to do this. I said, this need you keep saying, my
we want a lot of the things that we do. We want to do them. Yes. We don't. I feel like we need to stop this guy saying it underneath.
We want it.
We want it, and it's, you know what? It's okay to say we want it. Yes. It's okay to just be like me now. The things I want at my wedding is I keep saying I want a very Ijo wedding. Like, the food I want it to be banga and starch. I want point and kill. I want fresh fish, pepper soup.
You want points and kill, I want it fun.
Like, that's what, like, but then it's like, I don't need to do any of these things.
Yeah, but that's just what you want to do.
But it's my pattern. I just want to do it. Like, I just want to do it for the fun of it.
I want a very Yoruba wedding. I keep saying it that if there's a road I can block, I will block it.
Yeah, you keep saying that.
No, seriously. I prefer when we used to have parties in the middle of the road, they used to put tents. You just block everywhere. There was
birthday party with Limca.
Yeah.
I hated those.
Yeah.
I loved Limca.
Honestly, so much. Even as a child, I was confused.
My problem is that it will be hot. But if someone said to me, I have a space, this is how we can do it.
The heat has never stopped us. Like,
no, it wasn't the heat. For me, even as a child, I remember being, because of where my grandparents lived in, like, all the roads are connecting, but they were all very narrow. But it used to bust my brain that, you're just going to keep everybody backed up on this road.
Yeah.
For like
absolutely
8 hours. Like, that's perfectly fine to you.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like,
okay.
I mean, to be fair, is it my fault?
I loved it though.
I grew up in a house where,
I
mean, it a lot.
Yeah.
Any small thing my grandma has done like this, if my grandma says she's having a get together, all of a sudden there are canopies.
Yeah.
But outside. This is my thing. I'm very Yoruba in that I like, people laugh at me. Like, I'm the friend that I will travel for weddings.
Yeah.
I will show up for things. I like it. What I've never understood is inconveniencing either way.
Yeah.
So inconveniencing yourself
or
deeply,
other people.
Or inconveniencing other people.
Can't do it.
And then acting like that is part of the party thing. It's not. It's something that is just, I feel like what happens is we do things we can't afford. And to justify it, we need to like,
it has to be that you need to
we need to perform stress to feel justified in, like,
it's almost like you're convincing
yourself that this was
that this was all, like, it's part of it. It's like when you tell yourself, oh my God, I'm so stressed, I'm working so hard, right? You're like,
babes.
Like, babes.
The
If we're being
the one I
serious.
used to tell this story now.
No, honestly, it's the same. Like, I know the.
It's like when I tell myself I'm so stressed, I'm taking a 2.5 hour break to watch
but you're like,
film.
okay, what have you
to
done?
watch a movie, and then I'm like, but it's not like a laughing movie. It's serious.
It's a very serious
something.
Yeah, I just want people to remember that when it boils down to it, all this is actually meant to be enjoyable.
Yeah.
So
you're supposed to have fun at your wedding.
Yeah. Some people doing 18 parts
fun.
18 parts Instagram videos, just break down of. I said, okay, do you know that you didn't need to
break down of what?
Like after the wedding, they're like, okay, so part 1, how we chose our vendor, and then this vendor, it was so difficult. I'm like, honey, what?
So let me not lie to you. Can I not lie to you? The wedding complex is huge. Like both on the vendor side, the couple side.
No, let me not lie to you guys.
And also on the general audience side, because if nobody was watching these things, nobody would.
Let me tell you my favorite part about weddings. It's not even the couple, the vendors. Oh, once those videos start rolling out on Instagram.
I keep saying this thing. Biduni Damola had the unfortunate pleasure of riding home with me from the airport after Dima's wedding. And what was I asking him? I said, Biduni, how do I get into the wedding industry?
Oh, no, this is a very
Just
serious
tell me.
question.
I said, tell me a gap.
Maybe I'll start doing balloon.
Tell me a gap in the market that we can
balloon.
We can jump into. All the things he was saying, I said, I don't think you understand what I'm saying. I want a small niche. Which one is event planning, wedding planning? What are you talking about? How can you say what's planner? And I was like, dude, I want a small, like maybe I only do court. Like you don't want to go to career registry, no problem. I'll do like a little court. Different themes, different vibes. Or like, but that's still planned. That's still too much. I don't like it. I want literally a small corner of something that like I just do. And that's
I'm really thinking about it.
I'm really thinking about it. And nothing high stakes. Honestly, events, high stakes.
Yeah.
But like if I'm just a vendor inside the events, low stakes.
I've seen one thing that I find really, you know that there are people that now do like mini pancakes. Have you seen those things?
I've seen that. Lovely.
Mini pancakes. Okay, yeah,
that's the only thing they do. She just sets up a stand.
Mini pancakes. That's what I'm saying. I need like
and she's there for like 2 hours in the after party and she carries her load and
I need like a niche.
You know those people that do like the cocktail walls?
So we'll be mixing.
No, you won't be. You just own the little cocktail. You know, the ones that they will come, you pick up the glass.
You know what I wish I did that has already been done? Kewa's Prosecco bar.
Prosecco bar, yeah.
That's like the cocktail walls.
It is there now. She has done the Prosecco bar where like all the cocktails are like champagne and Prosecco. But she has already done it.
I really liked the one at your birthday. It was very nice.
That's the very
I know that was Kewa. It was really like the one at your birthday.
Had it been that I did not know how, I would have copied her.
That was lovely.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Had it been I didn't know her personally, I would have stolen it. But what I'm saying is we need something like this.
I'm really thinking, even balloon, they've taken balloon.
They've taken everything.
Reborn.
I just need something.
Reborn?
Anything is, you know, at the back of the chair, they will tie reborn. Anything. We say we're looking for low stakes. We don't want, we just need the supplier of the reborns.
Maybe we can do like, you know how when we were younger, I feel like everyone, when you traveled, everyone had these like random paintings that someone on the road would do of you. They were all deeply ugly. All these like caricatures. All those things where they would write your name and it would be like flowers. Do you remember all those things?
Yeah.
But
that's high stake now.
No. The caricature thing shut down for a while. But those ones that they used to just write your name and it's like in a flower, kitty, or like we can do it. Trust me, Joel, I pity you.
The caricature one for sure.
Yes.
But you see that bubble name.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do the caricature.
Photo booth is low stake.
Yeah, but everyone has. There's so many different types now.
Now they have the one
even that 360 inside. They have one that like.
I even went to my sister's birthday. They had video.
Yeah, they have custom sets.
This is a photo booth.
They have custom photo booth sets. That's not even like the standard. You can do I say, well.
We actually have to think on this thing.
I feel like this caricature thing can bank you guys.
And do you know who love it? The funny thing is I never in the after party. The wedding. They
will sit down.
Parents will.
You guys, I feel like
you are even thinking
who can draw?
Now I'm thinking about I start doing this thing in Toronto.
Reach out to me if you can draw, please. If you can draw, do reach out. Put your hands down, you people in Debbie. Put your hands down. This is a serious business.
All right, boys and girls, this fantastic episode of I Said What I Said is brought to you by AfriChange?
AfriChange is the easiest way to send money across Africa and internationally everywhere.
There are very low fees, no processing time, if any, very tiny, and you get loyalty points the more you use.
Yes. If you are in Nigeria, you can pay your bills in Canada. You can send money to Canada.
Exactly.
You can also pay your school fees in Canada directly from Nigeria in Naira. If you are in Canada, you can send money to many, many countries all over the world.
All right, guys, so get to supporting people who support us. Enjoy AfriChange and enjoy the rest of the episode.
That is africhange.com.
I'm not going to pretend you don't know what's going on, Alma, please.
Let's do some
Treat me as a guest.
But sincerely,
I don't like this
Let me
shit,
tell you
man.
guys something.
Treat me as a guest.
Alma came into my house, came into my room.
Why are you telling the class to keep her
yapping. She now saw Angela there. She now had to code. So she came in insulting.
Yes, actually, she said I entered her room like a market woman, which was very accurate. Because I opened it, I said, Jola. Jola Olua. Why am I not on your podcast?
She just walk. I said, okay. When I said, okay, what are you doing tomorrow? It's not how. She now started saying, okay, what will I say? Why will you ask me to come?
No, I thought it was going to take a while.
Like,
I know that it was immediate.
I'm so happy you are here to witness, because this girl came and almost dragged my shirt. That why isn't she coming back on the podcast? I said, okay, come tomorrow. She said, what would I talk about? Tomorrow. I couldn't believe it. She was not talking like someone that was very busy. Let me check my schedule. I said, you in Lagos. Schedule.
No, the thing is that I don't like it because my friends, you have seen me finish. That's what's happening. You don't rate me anymore because I came and I was like, okay, so I thought you would give me like a week so that I would prepare myself. She said, what are you doing tomorrow? I was like, I don't know. I have to check.
Yeah.
I'm here for a holiday. You never can tell
what you're doing, Abby. How
once
busy
Alma has
you
done
are.
her hair and done her nails, if she's not working, like Toronto time, this bitch is free. Once Alma has done her hair, done her nails, and she's not like on the clock, forget about it. So Alma doesn't like all this. If you tell Alma, we can see on Thursday, she say,
I love Alma's content in Lagos. What concerns her? Food, shopping, resting. Alma has bought 1, 2, 3 things.
I do love
She has
that.
watched plenty things at home. She has gone to eat here and then
I'm not an outside babe.
Finish.
I'm not looking for anything
you don't need to
outside. There's nothing outside I'm looking for, and I beg. If I can nap. Like I don't have anything. My own is what am I eating? Okay, what am I watching? Do I have food? Do I have TV? What's it all? Nothing else is interesting.
What have you guys been watching lately? I haven't been watching anything. Yeah, I'm
watching The Good Doctor right now.
Oh, I finished that.
I love it.
Lovely, honestly. I'm not finding anything like exciting at the moment.
I'm watching The Good Doctor.
Things to watch. I finished that.
Nothing else.
I don't have anything else. I might watch UK's Love is Blind, but I'm just
Am I
so
the only
sorry.
one that has never watched Love is Blind?
Yeah.
Nope.
I've never watched Love. I don't know what goes on apart from like what people talk about on the TL.
You know what? I've never watched.
I've never watched it.
I've seen different random episodes. Love Island.
I've never watched Love Island.
I've never seen Love Island like in full.
Never. I don't know what happens, and it's so funny.
Like I know the gist because I can see it publicly, and then I can see maybe like I don't know. And if someone's watching an episode, I'll sit with them. But like I've never followed and understood what's happening in Love Island, and I just feel like it's too late.
Are you ready to start? I have one that when I saw it, okay.
Oh yeah.
It's from Ben. Who says, "Hi ladies. Let me start by saying I appreciate what you guys do. It's just so different. And I like how you make a topic over serious and yet not so serious. Okay. Kudos."
Yeah,
thanks so much, Ben.
My dilemma is that I'm in a relationship with this lady I love so much. Our connection is really cool. I respect her and she respects me even more.
Ben 45?
That's the vibe the voice is giving, but okay.
But the problem is me. I'm not yet committed enough to look beyond the fact that she's a divorcee who's about the same age as me.
I knew Ben was.
She left her previous marriage after a year and a half. We are both 42.
I knew Ben was 40 plus. I called it immediately.
I feel like I'm settling for less.
Oh, that he's settling?
Wait, no.
Sorry.
There are fresh young ladies out there. But you see, my babe is beautiful and really sweet. However, what will people say? Will my mom be proud that I brought a divorced old girl home? will my guys laugh at me? I really like her. And if it were me advising other people about this, I would tell them to do what suits them and ignore other people. Forget what they say. But why can't I tell myself that?
Ben.
Are you done?
Ben.
Oh, okay.
I'm done. Well, please, I want to harken back
Ben,
to the fact that he said it.
Sorry.
They're fresh young ladies.
I just wanted to say that when I knew that Ben was 40 pluses, first of all, for this kind of dilemma, he put Ben. Instead of remains for Ben would have put
Bernard.
Number 1, not Ben 10, but Ben 42.
Ben 42.
Can I just put it to you that some of your are you living in reality?
No.
No, there's 2 questions I want to ask. I just want to ask Ben.
Yeah.
Ben feels that at 42 years old, his mom is more concerned about if the lady is a divorcee than if there is any lady at all. That's what Ben thinks his mom. Then Ben thinks that his guys, who have already laughed at him so far, are laughing at him because of an old girl.
Old girl.
At 42, his friends are all probably
That's what
married.
I'm saying. Like, Ben, listen, this is not their primary concern.
It's not going to be my it's not my portion. That time has passed. When my father was 42, I was 14. I just want
Bernard. Personally, I think Bernard. We know that thing that they say when you full of 40. There's nothing you can tell Bernard.
No, Ben
it is so wild to
me.
I think. Do you know what it is?
I think he should. Personally, I think he should look out for the fresh young girls. Personally, there's no need. Don't stress this young woman. She just came out of a marriage, right?
Yeah, it's so
look
crazy
for the young, fresh girl.
Yeah, it's so crazy to me that he's genuinely.
Yeah,
he's genuinely concerned about this.
I don't rate the fact that you actually think of your partner in these terms.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh wait, are they already dating or is
this girlfriend? They're together.
Oh, I thought they were just like getting to know each other.
He's saying that like, should he marry her or go and find a fresh young girl?
I thought they were just kind of like getting to know each other. So it's like, I don't know if this is it or like if that's what I'm like. You should just free my babe. Let her just peace of mind. You should find a fresh young girl.
Brother Ben, I want to say something. If fresh young girls were after you, would have known by now.
Yeah, it's so odd to me that like in a loving relationship with someone that you like, you're like, oh,
she's a divorcee.
She's an older divorcee.
Girl. Like, you're the same age, mate.
I think that Ben...
He thinks he's doing her a favor.
He does. He thinks he's doing her a favor. And you know that thing that rubbish she said about if he was him, he would have told his friend to just do is a lie.
It's a complete lie.
Do you know why? Because if he was Ben, he would have judged his friends. He would have laughed. And that's why he's scared that other people laugh at him. That's what's the problem. Is that if he was him, he would have laughed at his friend. And so now he's like, how would people laugh at me?
That's actually his primary concern.
That's his primary concern.
That's his primary concern.
She feels the answer. He's just like, if it's me, I would have laughed. Would people laugh at me?
Ben, do you know, my problem with you is that you lack self-awareness.
Deep.
At the ripe old age of 42.
No, he's young.
Nobody has married you. Nobody has ever wanted to marry you. Somebody, they married them. They decided of their own accord that they're coming out of the marriage. They're not even with you. That's the person that you think you're doing a favor. Is she not helping you?
No, leaving.
Yeah. Also, I'm really...
Like, what is this? And the thing is, he sounds so benevolent. Oh, I really love her. She's so beautiful. But excuse you. Like,
but I'm the cream of the crop.
Do better.
You know?
Guys, we've not spoken about the other thing.
What?
He said, my mommy.
Oh. I never remember that.
I didn't want... So the thing is, I don't like to be somehow...
If it can be 42, I can't fucking kidding me.
No. I didn't want to say my original comment because, again, it will be somehow. But I was like, do you know how close your mom is to the other side at 42 for this to be your primary concern? Like, do you know what is top of mind for your mom? Is that she has a funeral next weekend. Let me not lie to you. These are not the primary concerns that Mommy Ben.
You know this.
Mommy Ben.
Reminds me of.
I want to be frank. Mommy Ben is currently sewing her car as we speak because her school mother has passed away. Yes. So, Ben, I mean, your parties are not.
Do you know this reminds me of? Oh my God. I'm trying to figure out if I can tell this story. There's somebody, Sha, that I remember when he was getting married. He was much older. I remember overhearing a conversation where I was in a friend's house, like family friend's house, and somebody we knew was getting married, and he was considered like an older gentleman. And I'll never forget hearing in Yoruba. So like Obiri.
Wait, translate. You have to translate.
So you like women. So you like women.
And the guy was like, "What do you mean? So I like women?" His friend said, "No, because we're all Christians. It's not the kind of thing you say, but genuinely, we thought you were onto the Lord." No, like they were just like, somebody we are going to marry. Oh,
wow!
Like almost. So I want to know that Ben. A lot of your friends think you're going to.
They do because like. I think they'll be so happy that somebody wants to marry you.
Yeah. Or that you found someone to spend time with. That if you start saying all these things, I think
at 42.
I think when you have friends, people have actually recently I've realized that when you have friends that tell you the truth, take a lot of things for granted. You assume everybody's friends tell
them the truth.
I want to put it to you that if I'm coming to tell Fekemi I'm getting married at 50 and I'm single, and I start telling her, I just don't think my parents would. I want to guarantee that. Let me use his same age, 42. If I come and I tell Fekemi that, he's divorced, and I just don't think Pastor would really. I promise you that Fekemi will actually sit me down and be like, "Babe, I don't want to sound somehow when I say to you that this is not the issue.
It's not.
This is not the issue at all."
Yeah.
I think people, and this is so interesting. We talk about this thing all the time. When you realize how people see themselves, you'll be really amazed.
You'll be shocked because
it happened to me.
Ben thinks he's the prize.
No, what do you mean it happened to you?
No, I mean like when you sit down and you're like, like sometimes we talk about how who you think you are,
right,
and who you really are. It's two different things entirely. That's what's doing Ben.
That's seriously.
I feel like Ben really thinks that in a group of bachelors, he's on top.
The ladies,
Ben thinks the ladies love him.
Yeah, the ladies love him.
That he has up. My problem with Ben is that he just feels like he has so
he's
so
a
many.
Silverish fox.
Yeah,
he's not fully
he
silver,
feels like he
silverish.
has so many options. Whereas, let me not lie to you, and again, age is but a number is somehow to the average person, to the average Nigerian, you as in deeply unmarried at 42 and still having silly thoughts like this.
Personally,
is a red flag.
I think you should free this baby. It's going to stress her.
I think you should free her. Let me not lie to you.
It's going to stress. If you're already thinking like this,
who fits you?
It's
go for those young girls. By the time they humble you,
that's what I'm saying.
Back.
You need to find a young girl.
You beg this lady.
Why are you dating someone you are judging though? This is so confusing.
That's why I say you should free this young
someone you're clearly managing.
Oh no, like he's judging her.
He said he feels like he wants to make sure he's not settling.
No, he first said she's a divorce. He now quickly had to let her know that she left the marriage after 2 years.
Yeah.
Very serious lady. Could try. She didn't try. No, genuinely, because it sounds like he's judging her.
Leave you, love.
This is crazy.
I think you should.
Anyway, Ben, we wish you the best.
I think you need to free. I think you need to free the babe. Let me not lie. The thing is, if I was the babe and somehow I heard this,
I'll be so upset.
It would be so
sad.
It would be so somehow because it's just like, see this man that I thought 2 of us were together. Actually, you feel like you are.
What if she's the one? What if she's even managing him?
I know she's managing him. The thing is, I'm actually so sure of it. Let me tell you how I know. Somebody whose first priority is what would their mommy say. She's definitely managing him. This cannot be an upstanding gentleman.
Yeah, I agree.
She's absolutely managing him. Only to turn around and see that. I mean, what are you even saying in this? Anyway, I guess 2024 is.
Whenever I think about these things, sometimes I remember like just when there was a time, I think it was Jollz that was saying something about at your big age.
Yeah.
Like sometimes when I was to do something, I'll just be like, at my big age, at my big 32 years of age. Well, I'm not 32 years, 31 plus. You are still doing this kind of thing. Mr. Bernard is not ready.
No. I can't even believe you are saying things like she's a divorcee. I believe heavily in batch B.
High five.
I believe so heavily in batch B.
High five, oh my God.
I feel like you've gone, you've seen 1 or 2 things. You're coming back,
a little bit more refined.
With a pep in your step, you're a bit spruced up.
Yeah.
Let me read this one. It's from someone who calls herself No Nonsense. And she says, "Hi guys. I never imagined I'd write in here because I always enjoyed us laughing and judging other people's dilemmas. But guys, my father's second wife is insane. She talks a lot and lies because she talks so much. She likes feeling relevant around us on my mother's side. Now, the main issue is because she lives in the same city as us, she comes to our house like 3 times a week with her children unannounced. She stays for hours and doesn't leave till late at night too. and has no boundaries. Guys, she started entering my mother's room, and the last time she came, I actually caught her rifling through her bag.
What?
I mean, it's husband they are sharing, not bag, not room, not house. I am so upset. I tried to tell my mom how I felt about her, but she doesn't really listen. My own is you guys should help me because I feel like I'm going to end up fighting her before the end of the holiday.
What's she coming to look for in the house?
Well, this is like, I don't like people that don't have boundaries, number one. And like, this looks like a woman that just needs to be checked. That's the truth.
But
the problem is that it's
who
awkward.
is checking?
That's it. It's
Who is doing
awkward
the
if
checking?
it's you because like you're the other woman's daughter.
No, I think she's the best person to do the
Do you think
checking.
so?
Yeah.
Actually, let me know that if I see you going through my mommy's things,
You've
opened the door for us to be mates.
Yeah. I think she's the best person to do it. It cannot be her mom.
No, it can't be.
And it's either her or her dad.
If I and I doubt it's going to be her dad.
So it has to be her.
It should ideally be.
Yeah.
But I highly doubt it's going to be.
And it's not like checking in a disrespectful way. It's just like, sis, what are you doing? Like,
I don't even mind. You are disrespectful.
I don't even mind if it's disrespectful.
Do you understand? Like at the point where, so this is...
If you're rummaging through my mother's things, where is the respect?
I didn't understand the dynamics of polygamy at all. But I imagine that there's some things that we don't need to see.
Oh, there are things that you don't do. There are things that you don't say. I understand the dynamics of polygamy. There are things you don't do. There are things you don't say.
Yeah.
And that's why I say she's the best person to check the woman. And the reason why I say not respectfully is, respectfully is so that it doesn't become a bigger issue.
Yeah.
That's why. But like, if you're like, why are you in my mother's room? Why are you looking through my mom's bags?
Yeah.
It's not fights. It's just, I'm asking you a question.
Yeah.
Why are you in my mother's room? Why are you looking through my mom's bags? And the reason why her mom can't do it is because, or that why her mom shouldn't do it is because it will definitely
turn
be
into something else. Yeah.
So she's in the best position to be like, what are you? Like, we're not comfortable
at the time.
I have a friend whose mother was a first, she's still married to him, is a first wife. And in retrospect, I realized that a lot of the things we used to kind of be like, why is she not?
Yeah.
Now that we're older, whenever we ask, is like, because she's very Yoruba, and she's like, one of the worst things for her was to be considered an agbaya.
Yeah.
So there are certain things.
It's exactly that.
There are certain things where you just seem, you are being wronged, but your response will always make you look like the bully.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
And that's why your children do it.
Yeah, and then you become, and there was a time she was explaining something in Yoruba that made me laugh. She was like, look, people were trying to push this. So her husband did what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
He married another wife. Fine, no problem. But she realized that very quickly people were trying to force her to almost like, so you know how there's a dynamic where Nigerians like putting things in boxes. So they wanted to try to force her to become the macho.
First wife.
Yeah, I get it.
She said, no, I'm not going to help you people justify this man's Iran.
I'm not doing it.
I'm not doing that. They want to turn her to the wife.
Like the old wife, yeah.
She's not with, she said, no, this man is Ojukokoro that made him marry another wife.
Of course.
I don't behave older. I'm not less educated.
Yeah.
Don't involve me.
Yeah.
And so they will start trying to like push her buttons so that it will not be a thing of, but you know they are the Yaeli.
No.
She said no, that she must be looking.
It's a very common it's a very common thing in polygamous families. And that's why I'm like, she has to
that dynamic.
She has to be the one to be like, ma'am, what are you doing here?
That's very interesting.
And plus, why is she in their house every week? Doing what?
Yeah.
What's she looking for?
Me, my friend's mom is the second wife, but it's so funny because in that dynamic, the first wife is a complete agbaya and she loves it. Like when I say she loves it,
something
like
I feel like is allowed.
I feel like she wakes up.
No,
and here's the thing, Sha. May I always say it that okay. When my friend is complaining, we'll now say that, but if it's you, then we just start laughing because we're like,
yeah, because even her, she can be like, sometimes that's all you have. A lot
of times she's like, okay, but you went there. All of us are now in this problem.
Yeah.
You saw everything going on. You saw the character of this lady.
Yeah.
You say you want to follow her back. Now, considering her character, she's showing you the very character you met there. What should we all do?
I remember
Fight back, my dear.
I remember when I was dating someone and I asked him about polygamy. I think, imagine we were driving from Yaba to Lekki Phase 1. He laughed
the whole way.
Yaba to Lekki Phase 1.
What did you ask him?
I said, like, does he imagine like a polygamous setup? And he said, okay, that he just wants me to think of the mindset of any man.
Yeah.
That will put more than one of me in the house.
Yeah.
And hope. And just hope for
the best.
No, like you're just like you the way he said it was like, oh, the person means well for themselves. As in when you talk to this man, he plans to have a future.
Yeah.
And I said, what do you mean? I was like, what do you mean? He said, you wake up with sole aim
of destroying everything.
Of figuring out how to fuck up everybody's mental health every single day. That I will wake up, send my children to school, and start plotting in my shop. Now, okay.
Do you know the thing? And I hate to say this. I grew up around a lot of polygamous. I'm from the South.
Yeah.
Asian men, they're notorious in my mother one wife. It's almost normal. So I grew up around a lot of polygamy. My uncles are really... And if there's one thing that I've noticed is that men marry multiple wives and then they remove themselves from the situation.
Do you know,
all these things you're saying that you're plotting...
I don't know how they
you're plotting how to mess up everybody's mental health. That everybody does not include the man. I can assure you that man will be the sanest man ever. If you see him coming to eat his dinner, he's happy.
But my own is, how do they do it? Because it's like they're watching all the drama.
I'm telling you, if they don't, all these things, they don't involve them.
Let me hold the trouser. I'll hold the trouser.
Isn't it if you see the trouser at all? When you grow up around polygamous families, you know that the men, they're not involved in the drama that you people are doing. Is Yahoo 1 and Yahoo 2. Everybody will know how they are doing. And that's why I'm like, why are you in her house?
Yeah.
Because if you understand boundaries, wife one's children, wife two's children should not be wife one's house. If everyone is like living happily and like you said, so you don't mess up everyone's mental health. It's okay for families to be, if a man marries more than one wife, I would always say, if you have to marry more than one wife, it's best that both families kind of exist as a single unit so that everybody doesn't run mad.
Yeah.
Because it's when everyone, that kumbaya, we're all living in one house, that by force. Because you can never, no matter how you do it, it can never be
I know someone
a kumbaya situation.
Whose granddad would take children from the wives.
Like just by himself?
No. So the three of us are married. Now, I don't know whether he used to send his sperm on errand, but we would get, like, there would be 2-3 months difference. Like, they would have children in batches.
Yeah.
Now, what you do is, Shebi, you don't want me to have peace. You collect Alma's child, give me. Collect my child, give FK. Collect FK child, give you. So,
if you like kill everybody.
You can't kill. Do you understand? So the children are very attached to each other, but different mothers. So your child is very well aware that you are his mother. But he lives with me.
With me. Oh,
that
okay.
Is,
honestly,
let me
it's exactly what I said. The men will remove themselves.
So sometimes, the first time she told me about her dad and uncle being half brothers, I said, you are lying. He said, no. But sometimes, apparently, like until their mom started dying, sometimes, imagine your child is upset. They call me first.
Yeah.
I'm not the one that says, have you called
your mommy?
Or have you gone to see your mom? To talk? So she said that she doesn't know how diabolical her grandfather was to think of that thing. But he just said, oh, you think you're wise. I'm wiser than you.
Yeah. I've never heard of that before.
My absolute favorite polygamous situation is there are 3 of them. And I think one day the women just woke up and decided, come, why are we fighting? Why don't we come together and stress this man? And I'm not joking, that is absolutely what they did.
Yeah.
They bonded as a unit and faced him squarely. That, now that you've been sowing seeds of discord, they stressed and stressed and stressed. I remember my grandma was telling the story that one time he told all 3 of them to get up. And they said they're not going anywhere.
I actually like that.
They said they're not going anywhere.
I like that more.
Because they just realized that actually, wait, what is that? You are a problem.
Yeah.
I've seen
like
a duo that go out together.
Yeah. So 3 of them would wear the same fabric and everything.
It depends.
Not as in, their husband is coming to meet them. It's like, me, I come and say, Alma, there's one Kenya.
Let's go. Actually, see, when different wives become friends, it's a sweeter dynamic. But my thing with polygamous families is,
can you love him though? You can't love
the man. See,
no one saying that I can't love my husband.
I can't.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. That
like,
at this
I have
point,
to give him up.
The man is no longer in the situation. Nothing concerned. See, in this home that we have, this man is a visitor. Nothing concerned. It's the truth because for you to be friends with somebody else that's also married to your husband, you will no longer send the man. 2 of you cannot equally love the man. It's the truth, and be friends. So you have to pick one common denominator that will be X, and it is the man. But anything the man wants to do from there is his business.
Did you ever watch Sister Wives? I used to watch it. I used to watch Sister Wives, and I'm always like, because they try so hard to do this kumbaya, and I'm like, you guys, please, this man has a favorite, and it's obvious.
And do you know the favorite left him? No. You know this. She left him.
I don't think I watched
the favorite wife. So his favorite wife, she got a divorce. And she has even remarried.
You're a liar. I used to watch Sister Wives all the time. And I'm like, there were 3 and then there was a fourth one. And I was like, okay, but there was one who was like in charge of the kids, like most of the kids. Yeah. There was one who was like in charge of the house, and there was one who was very clearly his favorite. Yeah. I'm like, this is his babe. The rest of you are just kind of here.
Yeah, crazy. It was crazy. No,
I'm so the thing is, I don't even have the temperament. I feel like I would start laughing.
FK, I don't think you can.
For polygamy,
I don't think either of you can.
I would start laughing if like my husband.
I can't. Also primarily, I don't think of.
And here's the thing, I won't drag it.
I think of
as you start marrying one.
No, I'm out.
You started on marrying me.
I'm out.
Finish.
I'm out.
I can't do it.
I'm out.
Finish. For this primary reason, I don't date a German man. I can't do it.
Yeah, you said this many times.
I don't even try. You don't even say hello to me. Don't speak to me. Don't tell me. I don't. I'm not interested. One time I dated an Yoruba man, my eyes saw the back of my head, and I'm like, you know what? My South brothers.
Do you know the thing? I feel like, well, actually, no, I'm not going to say Yoruba men have bad PR because it's absolutely true. But South men don't have.
It's the numbers. It's a numbers game.
Their reality is actually worst. And their PR is just not as bad.
Oh, yeah. South men are bad.
Publicity. It's a knowledge thing.
Yeah.
It's a knowledge thing. Like, I used to talk about Yoruba men all the time. I remember one of my friends that said, come. You don't follow Edo man.
That's what I'm saying. Everyone says it that like. I remember one time I said I'll probably end up with a Yoruba and Edo can. And she said, I'm so sorry.
My cousins are
She was like, I'm so sorry.
You know, that's when my cousin is Ijo and Yoruba. And one day I sat in there and I said, do babes follow you? He said, yeah, they love me. I said, God. I actually pity the girl that will come home and say, this is who she's married.
It's too bad. It's too
bad. Good luck to all of you. All my cousins that are men, I'm just like, good luck to all of you. Because Ijo, like South men, Robo, Ishakiri, Isoko, Ijo, all of them.
Yeah.
You know the funny thing is that I can kind of say Edo, Akwa Ibom because I've disabled, but you see that river Rhine South, avoid me.
Not the river Rhine.
No, but they say all the time that like things that they believe.
Avoid
like
me.
Things that like a Yoruba man will lie to you about.
No,
they're just like,
straight.
What do you mean?
They're just like, I don't.
What do you mean? In the South, their men have kids and all the kids are like the kids grow up.
Yeah.
Even if the wives want to off themselves, the kids grow up as one big family. Nothing concern them because that's how like South men raise their kids. Like the mothers might have differences, but the children,
all of them are their children, yeah.
It's from the same plate, on the same table, you go to the same schools, you go on the same holidays, nothing. If the mothers like, they should not like, that's their business. But the children, there's not like, you hardly hear that in the South that the man died and his surprise child came. It's not possible.
All the surprises are present.
They already knew the people that were born to that man. Everybody knows. It's just that Yoruba men, that's
what one of my friends was saying. That the thing about the difference is that like, Yoruba men will absolutely lie to you. A South man is just like, I don't get it. Okay, what's the problem? Okay, so cheating. Yeah. I can never forget one of my friends that he's South. And then when you go to like games and kind of thing, everybody's talking about deal breakers, cheating. The belly laugh that came from him. He said, "Oh, hey, I'm better find what to not give you anything."
You know, there was a time I was talking to my auntie about getting married. I was like, Auntie, I can't do South. Like I can't do like, being with a man that I have to normalize cheating. And she was like, She was just looking at me. I was like, yeah, but Auntie, like when you got married, she said, you better just find the one that will not stress you. And it took me a really long time to get to that point where I'm just like, cheating is a deal breaker. I didn't grow up.
When we first met, you didn't think cheating was a deal breaker.
I didn't think cheating was a deal breaker because like I said,
if
I look to my left and to my right, everywhere, it was multiple families. So for me, it was just like, as long as I can lay my head and my children can go and come back. But it took me to a point where I was just like, nah, this is absolute rubbish. Like, I don't condone that anymore.
Yeah. And it's so funny because I'm just like, you can see people who are like, okay, sure, babes, like from afar. And I'm like, so why will you now you now fall in love with that one that has laughed in your face about your deal breaker?
Hello, boys and girls of the UK and Ireland.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
I said what I said, are going to be in Dublin,
Manchester,
and London. Dublin on the 1st of September.
Lovely.
Manchester on the 6th of September.
Absolutely.
And London on the 8th of September.
Period.
We are going to have a fabulous
It's going to be a time. It's going to be a time. It's going to be the best time of your life.
Honestly.
I don't know. Like, honestly, if you've ever been to one of our shows, or even if you haven't been, it's going to be better than all the other shows.
Yep.
Like, better than anything you've ever been to. That's just the
MC
fact.
lit. DJ lit. Games lit.
Everything lit.
Dilemmas lit.
We'll
the
be
discussion
looking sweet.
lit. Looking good. Come with your friends.
Babes day, guys day. Everybody is just good
just
looking
on form.
and great vibes.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lovely time.
I'm going to have a fantastic time.
So please get your tickets. Don't sleep on it. Don't let us announce that the tickets are sold and you'll be saying, oh my God. Oh my God. I couldn't buy the tickets. No. Buy your tickets now.
Right now.
Jazz up, rise up. We're going to be there.
And we're so excited. Can't wait to see you.
Anyway, I have one that's interesting because of the last thing we said. The rejected stone. Please, this is so dramatic for you to say the rejected stone. Hi, FK Angela. How are you? I hope you're doing great and having a great week. And if you're not, I really do hope it gets better. Cheers.
Okay.
Sorry, this is going to be lengthy. I just wanted to piggyback on the dilemma last week with the babe whose dad is remarrying after 3 years to someone she doesn't think is all that. I wanted to present the other side of that situation. My mom was the woman my stepdad remarried after 2 to 3 years. There was no infidelity or anything. His wife had passed on. And it was and still is hell. His children were full-blown adults when he remarried more than 13 years ago. I was just entering secondary school and a part of me was so excited to have big brothers and sisters. But these people treated me like I didn't exist. Their children got off on disrespecting me and they absolutely refused to welcome my mom and I fully. One of my nieces calls me her cousin just to illustrate how crazy this thing is. As per my mom is her auntie, not her grandmother-in-law. And honestly, that woman doesn't deserve any rubbish like that. She has the best heart in this world. Now that I'm an adult, there's a silly expectation that I reach out and try to form a relationship with them. But I can't get over the fact that they spent years ignoring me and simply not giving a fuck and treating my mom like a second-class citizen. Their supposed excuse is that their dad remarried too early. Well, it's been more than 12 years. What now? It's so fucked up because I've spent years thinking I'm unworthy of love because if so, if my so-called family didn't care about me, who will? Anyway, I found people who love me and don't make me feel like I need to do anything to be worthy of it. If the person who sent in that dilemma is listening, please don't punish other people for what you think your dad has done wrong. Thanks, FK Angela. This podcast has literally saved my life.
Oh, cute.
Love you guys. I love a bit of a rebuttal.
Of a papa dupa.
Yeah.
Give and take.
I love a bit of a rebuttal. Fair, absolutely fair.
But that has always been
really horrible, Sha.
I mean, on a personal note, like I've said this before, my mom's half siblings are my age. So I'm 32. My uncle and auntie are in their 30s as well. And her her stepmother got on swell. Like there was never. I think it's very. I think I'm sure she may have given her that side eye. Yeah. But I do think there's a part of what I do find in our own context too is a lot of people can't fight the person they want to fight.
No, and so they have to fight. It's what she's saying now that the man is not involved. You can't fight somebody else.
You can't fight your dad.
You can't.
So you start making the other person miserable. I'm giving like Nigerian cultural context and norms. For instance, if you're marrying a widower with older children, there is a dynamic. You want to respect them as people.
Dynamic.
You don't want to come in. You two, you can do math. So you know that, okay, this man is marrying me about 3 years after his wife died. Yeah. I can understand why they are a bit salty. So you're being cognizant of that. You have a small child. You're not going to try and antagonize people, but they can't fight their daddy. So they are fighting you. They're acting like you are the problem. Yeah, the problem here. And again, like you said, I'm sure that the man was seeing the disrespect, but what can he do? What will he do? I know only 1 or 2 instances where like someone has stepped in between his wife and his children and been like, okay, I don't like this song and dance has gone on for too long. I allowed you guys flex, but you're actually not welcome in this house. Yeah. If you're going to be causing, literally like we'll meet in other places, but you're not coming here. I don't know why everybody actually just they align because like when she didn't do anything. Like I said, she was wicked. Fair enough, but everybody's doing what do you call this thing? What's the name of those twins? That Lindsay Lohan, Parent Trap. You're doing as if, no, the auntie is wicked. It's like, mate, you're 22.
Yeah.
What do you mean the auntie is wicked?
I don't know. You see, again, I don't have the temperament. I mean, I have stepbrothers. Love them. I think they're great. Like, immediately we're just like, cool. Like,
honestly, cool now.
Who gives a damn?
I think it's
like, bro.
It's hard. If you can't fight the person you want to fight, you always find a proxy.
Yeah.
You always find a proxy. Also, if there is no, let's be honest, even all this mental health thing we talk about is only more recently. All the stuff we used to see and laugh at in Nigerian movies was real. Parents will be sneaking around dating for months and just come home and say, oh, I'm marrying
this person. Yeah.
Who the hell?
Who's that person?
And another one will now come and, maybe to assert herself, starts
behaving anyhow.
That's why I just feel like things that, when my mom was remarrying, he came to ask us.
Really?
He dated us for some months. I was just like, can't you? May we know you, please? Who are you, bro?
Yeah,
I think it's just, you just have to do things in a way that is like sensible to everybody else. Yeah. It's just not a big deal, all these things.
Show the effort. Show the effort. But she's right. Like the thing of you
being on the other side of it must be crazy.
Also for an extended period of time. Going into secondary school, she's either
especially because you guys are kind of
either
grown.
Between 9 and 11, right? Yeah. So you can't treat me horribly.
You're a child.
During my between like those weird formative years.
Yeah.
And then at 21, I'm not supposed to be doing egbon.
Mm-hmm. I also don't like this thing where families, different family structures, you will have like a messed up family dynamic all this time. All of a sudden, you all be adults, and then everybody's expecting everybody.
No. Please day. Everybody.
Please, as we started, I just want to know that that's how we're ending.
Yeah.
Because I have another friend that is like in a polygamous, and all of a sudden they never, like I said, the woman a complete
shit.
Yeah. All of a sudden, all the siblings are now trying to reach out, and she's like, "Oh, so sorry, you. We're actually not. It's late.
Yeah,
it's late."
This is really random though. I remember an episode of The Receipt where they were talking about how someone was giving people advice on doing their wills and their kidney. And the person said, what parents need to have in mind is your children do not love each other as much as you love them individually.
That's right.
So you're under the assumption that
if I leave to one person, they will share.
Alma is you and Alma are my daughters. I love you. I love Alma. I think you guys love each other the same way me. I love the both of you. So I live life. I've said the story many times. When my father came to tell me and my brothers that what will break his heart is if we ever fight over anything. And the youngest said, Daddy, I want you to understand something. I love my siblings, but what will not happen is if either of them try to cheat me.
Bracking.
He said my father carried Bible.
Yeah.
Still saying, Joseph, my brother said he will happily throw us inside the well. Are you joking?
Yeah.
He said that what will piss him off is if we actually are brazenly trying to cheat him.
Yeah.
And then he should now sit down and say, the spirit of daddy.
But can I tell you what's so crazy?
Because I leave everything to the down percentage.
I have seen families fight over like property, I'm always stunned to the core of my being because it gets
it gets terrible. It gets nasty. And what it could have, and all it needed to be was clarity.
Literally, it gets so nasty. But again, well, not in every situation. Some people are just wicked.
Yeah.
In a lot of situations, the parents did not draw enough line.
Yeah.
You left everything.
Yeah.
And said everybody should share.
Before we talk about some funky dynamics, there's this one I wanted us to read, the last one. It's from Lady Bird, who says, "Good morning, ladies. I don't even know if I need advice. I just need to rant. And the dynamics of my family make it hard to rant to some friends. I'm the second child and first daughter of a family of 8. The reason my parents chose to have so many children still surprises me to this day, because since I was a child, we've had to hustle for just the basics. When I wanted to go to school, I said I should stay back and continue doing a sales girl job to defend for my family. However, I was able to go after much pleading and begging. And as you can guess, I pretty much sponsored my own education. I even did some things I'm not proud of at all to survive. Anyway, now I have a job and I earn slightly below ₦1 million. But guess who has zero to show for it? Me. Because I have 3 siblings, I'm directly responsible for their education and upkeep. Whose responsibility you shall get it. I don't even own a nice wig. I know Nigeria is hard, but this is crazy. 3 months ago, I decided, I'm going to spend a little bit on myself. I bought myself a nice wig. I bought some clothes and some shoes. guess what? My mother thinks I'm incredibly selfish. Me, who has been responsible for 3 of her own children for about 4 years now. She said I should not have gotten an apartment when I did, and that we could have put my salary to good use at home. My older brother earns about 200K and lives at home, but is not saddled with any major responsibility because his salary is not much. Well, why should I be the one to die for family? My father is alive, oh. I contribute to their house rent, their feeding and everything, and I have my own things to do. It is so incredibly hard. Last December, they introduced me to one ugly man to marry and insulted me when I refused because, in their words, he's rich and I'm getting too old. I am incredibly tired, very unmotivated to work because I don't enjoy my own money. Please, if you have any advice for me, I'm all ears. As the haggard witch you are, you must start to perform.
You must.
See, do you know what? Like, for instance, my parents think I'm a good person.
Yeah.
So when I do things, they're shocked. Now, if I was a witch, and if they thought I'm a witch and I move as a witch,
they can't be shocked.
That's very true.
You have to turn into the person that they don't disturb.
What I don't like is that I'm the first child. I wasn't rebellious from start. The first time I did something to my dad, I think it was 2024, like 2 Christmases ago.
Yeah.
He was so shocked that he told me to get out of his house.
You're joking.
And I was like, this is just the beginning. We have finally got to this point. I've been waiting for us to get to this point. And he was like, get out. And then 2 days later, I came. And then he was angry that he told me to get out. And I went.
Of course.
He said, so you really left? I said, Well, you said I should go.
Out.
So my thing is that I did not rebel all through my childhood, all through my teenage years. I went to uni. I was a poster child. Like, there's no, and sometimes I used to tell him, you don't know what you have.
Yeah.
We're not stressing you. Me and my sisters, we don't stress you. But that last time when he was like, oh, Judy, this is really I was like, fine, now we're finally getting somewhere. So that when I continue to disappoint you in the future, we won't be back in this. Like, you will just be adjusting. Parents will adjust.
They will.
They have to.
My recommendation is for you to buy yourself another wig.
Girl, I think you have to change it up. You have to switch everything up. And again, we always say this kind of thing that, listen, duty is one thing, no problem. Support your family. Yeah. Taking the piss is another. And it is for you to draw that line. Yeah. Let me tell you what you do. This is what I have. This is what I'm going to be giving you people every month. Yeah. Anyhow you want to spend it, congratulations.
Sorry, can I say something?
And I'm finished.
Before we finish this thing. One sibling, she literally wrote there, I did things I am not proud of to get through school. Why did you do your own kwekus?
Thank you.
No, what happened to it?
Thank you.
So I'm the mumu, I'm the fool, I'm the family fool. Do you know like there was somebody that used to work for us. And one day I had to call. You know, like when you're just watching someone. I'm like, this girl is she is a good girl. Walking. Like, you know when somebody, one day I got to she was crying. I said, okay, come on, what's your problem? Oh, my mom needs this. My sister needs this. My brother needs this. But I wanted to do this, so I have to. Like, she was crying in advance as per she had plans.
She wants to
She's
do
letting go of the plan because
she has to do things.
That was the first one. So that's sorry. A few months later, again, called her. I said, "What's your when you sleep in the night?
What do you want?
This work you are doing is this your dream?" She said, "No, God forbid." I said, "I want to tell you something. This thing you are doing, continue. We'll be here.
This is where you'll be."
She was, almost because she had this idea that eventually
it will.
I said, let me tell you something about being the family nice guy. It will never end.
Never.
It will never, ever, ever end.
The kind of work she was doing, her siblings were offended at the idea that they would have to do. I couldn't believe. I couldn't.
Oh, it's dirty work.
I couldn't. You know, like when you are
confused.
My head was so. I think I was more offended than her.
Yeah.
And because she was so used to, she was explaining how like this, they don't want them to be soft, temperament. I say, so you are the mumu in your family. How can your parents be? Your parents don't know how, in fact, they know. We're all just doing this dance. You don't know now. The thing is,
your parents know. They just see how far they can take it with you.
That is it. They can see your brother and they know that, okay, because what should happen is, okay, fine, maybe it's earning less. The percentage of the money or debt they're taking, they should be taking it from him. Yeah. But they know that they can't try it too much with him. But you now, you're a clown.
It's so funny because the other day my mom was telling my sister something. As the good child that is now slowly becoming the bad one. My mom was telling my sister something. I think my sister were talking about something. And my sister told her what my thought or what I was going to do. And my mom was like, before I call Alma now, she would say, let me think of how I would go about it. It was never a situation before. Before she would have called my phone to start shouting. But now, I like the fact that people used to say, "Oh, what has Alma done? What will she do again?" Because it wasn't easy to get to this point, and it really just starts from doing. It's just starts from saying no.
Yep.
Cry about it, but say no. Say I'm not doing it.
Like you'll be uncomfortable.
But you have to start drawing the line.
And again,
it's for the better.
Nobody's saying you should be wicked, cut them off. No, but you have to draw a line.
You have to draw a line.
And until you draw a line, let me just you won't have peace.
You won't though.
You will not.
And they'll see how far they can take it. Everybody will see how far they can. It's just human nature.
Let me say something. They
won't be happy to sell that way.
They've calculated your promotions in advance. So they even know her salary. So the thing is that
that's even your biggest.
They know that in 2 years they've gauged that it is where she is now.
In
2 years, she should be
this way.
spending
that's why
money.
they want you to get an apartment. So you not spend money. We can't see it.
No.
Because if you're in their house and let's say you order food today, they go just watch, say no problem. No problem. Okay, today I eating rice. Nice one.
Tomorrow pizza.
No. I'm sorry.
You have to start drawing the line.
To see me. I changed this. Mine was a bit earlier, Sha, but changing it was the best thing, honestly, because I started to realize that, wait, so why am I doing the absolute most? There are 3 of us. We all grew up very differently inside the same house. Why? It's because I feel like I must. I said, no. And you see, nobody will die. That's just the truth of it.
There's a weird thing about resenting your own life because you're not enjoying it.
Exactly.
So you actually have, in the Nigerian economy, to have that kind of job, to make that kind of money is a big deal.
Yeah.
Like on Twitter, everybody's rich, but earning just under $1 million is a big deal, right?
That is that's a high paying job in Nigeria.
And not being able to show anything for it.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Not by your own choice. Not that, I'm working on this product
and I'm trying to save for something or invest in something. It's just people are just spending it for
So
you.
of course you don't like your job because you're not
seeing the benefits.
Like, I just think that your whole perception of your life is just marred by how much sacrifice you're having to do.
Yeah.
That's the truth of the matter. Because people are dying to earn
and this
the
is
money
not
that you're earning.
This is not super story.
It's not.
Where what is going to happen. Let me tell you.
Nobody's going to break down.
No, and also nobody's going to, come one day, sister, I'm so glad for all you did for me.
Nobody's going to say
so many instances. There are so many instances of people being so shocked. There was a.
See, it is on today she's sick. She does not have enough money to go to.
Forget that.
Nobody is bending over.
There was a video I was watching, a YouTube video of this lady who was talking about how she made it out of the hood and she came from a slightly dysfunctional family.
Yeah.
Her mom had lots of kids and she was very intent, like all of us have to
make it.
So she was hustling
for
everybody. And it was to the extent that her personal life was just constantly suffering because she became her sibling's mother in essence. So what would happen is somebody needs something, somebody needs to take a meeting, somebody needs somebody to co-sign a loan.
Yeah.
She is that sibling. And multiple fantastic relationships broke down because she was unable to. So she said she gets to her late 30s. She gets to her late 30s. And one of the youngest siblings, who was in her 20s at the time, was getting married or wanted something. No, she had gotten engaged. And so she came to meet her mom, who's her sister, to be like, oh, this is what she's thinking, this is what she wants, blah, blah, blah. And her sister was like, oh, no, I don't think that makes sense. It was imagine it's like a dress or something that she thought was frivolous. So she wanted a much more expensive dress. And her sister was like, we don't need to do this. If you really want this Vera one, why don't we make it a whole eBay type? Let's look for it
cheaper.
This girl gets upset about how her sister isn't she sure made it out to be almost like her sister is really blah, 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 blah,
not supporting her.
Hold on. She thought for sure when she calls the others, they'll be like, bitch, what are you doing?
Yeah.
She was so stunned when it became a whole thing about, oh, that's how she behaves.
You're joking.
Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, the whole thing blew up to the point that she is having this back and forth with multiple siblings. And one of them has the audacity to be like, yeah, but what would you know about relationships? She said she had never at that point, she said she couldn't hear anything again. When it's water enters your ears. And you can tell they've all, when someone...
They've come to all had the conversation behind them.
And then they've
behind her, rather. And then they've come to face her.
She said she was just thinking of the exes that she messed up because she was onto
sibling of
I'm
the
a mother.
year.
I'm a this. I'm a this. And she said, you people have... And what she said, she even like a fool. She's not saying you guys have no idea the sacrifice. What did they tell her about who asked
you? And that's the thing.
Let me know.
Somebody that wants to step on you will tell you that you're not lying flat enough. And so you have to...
They will absolutely tell you that who sent you. That thinks you think is good. Look, you have to do it. If you're going to do this thing, you have to do it because that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
And then you'll be happy. You're not happy.
You're not.
You're sacrificing for who? So that you do Mother Teresa of the year. My dear, nobody gives a damn. That's it. Look, that's the people who bend over backwards for people. They never, ever, ever, ever. They never get it.
Doing what you doing for and this happens with people generally. I do to Alma what I would dream that Alma would do for me.
And then when she doesn't do it, I'm mad.
What I hope somebody else would do for me. You need to like sit down and think about the life you built with sweat and tears and regrets. There's regrets involved in this thing. You have to tell your parents. Let me say something. I was not involved in
you people making
a decision. One of my friends told me that her mom had a baby when she was in secondary school.
Mm-hmm.
So the way it used to be like at the time was that they just show up with new baby. They will come every year.
She's like, who the hell is this?
So she said that one day her mom, she just saw that the woman's dress was protruding. I said, mommy, I can. She's just a bit tired because she's pregnant. She said that she not say her again. The woman lost it. She got so angry. She lost it. But she said after that one, she didn't get pregnant again. But I just think it is so crazy to me the amount of sacrifice.
Yeah.
This thing of giving birth for your children to
take care of, it's madness. Please face all your respective children.
One fight that me and my mom we always had, because I'm the first daughter and we're quite a lot of children. So me and my mom we always have this fight. It's like she'd be like, because in Toronto we're 3.
Right.
And she'd be like, you're like a mommy. I said, I don't remember carrying a child.
Like I'm just a
I
girl.
don't remember burning anybody. She's like, hey, you have to take care of your younger sister. You're like a mommy. I said, I'm not a mother. I've not given birth to any child. So which like, and it's in little statements like that I realized that I had to start fighting the whole, you're responsible in a mother capacity. I've already done my bit as being a big sister, but now it's like I'm a mother. No, so sometimes you just have to, especially when you're the first child, first daughter, there's all of this responsibility that is put on you. And sometimes you don't even realize it until it's too late. Like she realized it, but there was nothing she could do about it because it's almost like she had to work for them to feed. But when you get to certain points, you have to almost be like, it's going to be so hard, but you have to be like, cold cut, I'm not doing this anymore.
Do you know how crazy
everybody will adjust. And that's why I keep telling people, everybody will adjust.
They will. And like, so in the end, right, you just have to look at, am I happy with my life or not? Like, is this thing that I'm doing, do I feel good about it? Overextending it, let me tell you the problem with it, it feels like shit. Let's say overextending
felt good.
Because what you're banking on is that like
is a reward?
So grateful for you.
Yeah.
And when it doesn't come, you realize that you don't actually want to do this thing.
No, you don't.
You're actually not that altruistic. You're not a good person.
You're not a good person.
Free it. And so if I were you, I would calculate the amount that I'm happy to give to my family members.
You've never heard of like, at least when they're like younger siblings, they're still going to school and whatnot. They're older than her.
No, there are some that
there's some that like
yes now,
for
but
everybody
you've not heard of like situations where it's like I'm trying to set this person up to do their own thing, and some family member will come and say, what you're doing is not enough.
Yeah.
Why are you not doing it like you did that person's
or like maybe like
and you just be like,
you get them a car and like it's like a used or something, and they're like, oh, but why don't you? And you're just
I've seen a situation where they bought somebody a car and they say, why is it not
that's exactly what I mean. Because
why did they buy them a Corolla and not a Jeep?
They literally said that how come it's not an SUV? I said,
it doesn't end.
Okay, and the person that bought it said, no problem, give me
back
you
the
will
car.
love boss.
Yeah, you will love it, Keke.
The boss, you will too love it. She said, no problem, give me the key. That what you do, should just be giving them cash for transport because clearly what they love.
No, but you know the worst part.
Are you crazy? Which one is you? What SUV do you want to drive?
Look at this. People are about herself. So they brought one random old man for somebody because she's getting old.
She gets.
Obviously, and the funny thing is that she might not be old, but she already feels older because she has spent her entire time taking care of these people.
They see you as a cash cow.
Yeah. The weight on her shoulder.
Not that, we met someone we think you like.
Yeah.
We found one rich man so that you can continue your
work. Yeah.
You now add sexual to it. You'll be sleeping with your husband and collecting money from the family. Do you know how crazy?
It's so unfortunate that this is what actually happens.
Yes, I see everybody.
People
involved.
say it all the time that there's usually, depending on the family, when you're younger, there might be one random auntie or cousin that stays away from the family a lot. Everybody insults her.
Yeah.
Then you get older and you
understand why. You're like, okay, you saw what was going on. So, anyway, I wish everybody, honestly.
The very best.
The best of luck. I wish everybody the best of luck.
Amma, how can we take 1 year break?
Abi, please tell me.
That's a very good question.
Who wants to fund my sabbatical?
That's not the point.
Is that not the point? That's a better point. That's a better question. Because she's about to give us tips and tricks. I'm going to do financial management.
You go do financial management.
I want to manage somebody else's finance.
That's the work now.
For the 1 year break. Let them give me, now that I'm winning an investment challenge, I've been messaging people that they should.
Your challenge.
No, I've been messaging people that they should send me their money for investing.
Let me a beg.
I literally said it. One of my friends wrote, God. No offense, God forbid. I said, wow. I said, no, also, you don't even have any trust in me.
No.
She said, not be only trust.
Yeah.
So guys, if you are looking for a low-risk investment you can trust, please have no fears in trying treasury bills, which you can get on Bamboo, Nigerian treasury bills to be specific. So for as low as 10,000 Naira, you can get 18% returns, which is a great idea for those of you who are thinking that, I'm not yet sure of how to put my money or where to put my money. I'm a bit iffy about some of the stuff that I don't really understand. It's pretty simple. You can do your Googles and get taking control of your future. All right, guys, back to the episode.
Okay, so how did I do it?
When did you decide you were going to do it?
I turned 30 last year, 2023. So I decided in 2021
that you're going to do it.
I was going to do it for my 30th year. Yeah, there was lead time, and then I just I think
I want to start my own next month.
FK. Anyways, you can see there's nothing that's impossible in this life.
It is impossible. What are you
Leave
talking
FK. FK, I'm here for you. There's nothing that's impossible.
Okay, now.
No, like I'm saying, if you run next month is possible. But realistically, I think it took me about a year plus to save.
Right.
And then I had my 9 to 5. I had a job in tech, and then I had my work as a content creator. So for me, it was everything that I was making from being a content creator, I was putting it aside.
Right. And then using your 9 to 5 money.
My sabbatical. And then I was using my 9 to 5 money to survive. So I always say this, when people ask me, it helped that I had 2 jobs because the economy is crap right now. So it helped that I had 2 jobs to be able to save 1 income for my sabbatical. But then it was also just being very, I was I really want this. There was no joke about it. I was going to make it happen.
Yeah.
I was saying no to a lot of things. I wasn't traveling as much. I was just no, I need to save this money. And then I just kept racking the money. I did the finances of how much would it take me for a whole year
to do that. Yeah.
In all honesty, I think it helped because I knew that I was going to have fixed finances for that year.
Right.
So I knew that it was not except it was an emergency. I knew that at the end of the year, my rent would still be this, my rent. Yeah. My phone would still be this. My car would still cost this much. There will be no unforeseen hike anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And so I put all those numbers in a spreadsheet. I'm okay, this is what I'm going to need to survive. I was okay, this is how I'm going to save the money. I'm going to take as many jobs there as I can as a content creator. And then I'm going to put it in this account, right? So it was things saving for my phone. I had different buckets of accounts. It's okay, this is my rent for the whole year. We save that. And then we move utilities to travel. And that's kind of like how I did it. That's the broad.
Oh, that's so
But I literally had to break it down to how much do I spend if I go out on a night, if I go on a night out with my friends, how much would be my portion of the bill?
Like in your sabbatical.
Yes, like if I was gonna have a night out, like how much would I spend?
Yeah, how much are you
Or if I was going to go to, because the main goal of me taking a sabbatical was because I wanted to travel. And because I had been traveling prior to that, I had an idea of how much things would cost.
Yeah.
Right?
But of the way you like to travel.
Of the way I like to travel. So I knew that I wasn't trying to do a budget travel. I wanted to have fun. I wanted to have a good time. So I'm like, okay, if I'm going to this country, this is how much I would need to spend.
Yeah.
Right? So like when I went to London, I was like, no accommodation because I stayed in family house. But then now, if I was going to a country where I don't know anybody, I have to stay in a hotel. I have to do this. Like, how much would that cost me for a mid-size hotel? Even though I'm not doing 5-star, but I'm comfortable. It's not very fancy, but it's good. So I kind of all just put all those numbers in a spreadsheet. I'm very like, I like to see things. If I don't see it, it's not going to happen. It's almost like if I don't write it down, it's not going to happen. So I was looking at the numbers every day and I'd be like, and one thing is that in Canada, we have these different bank accounts where you can set a goal for saving. So I opened different one of them and I was like, the goal for this account is $20,000. And so when it reaches 20,000, I'm like, okay, on to the next account. Maybe this is $5,000. And then I just kept saving like that. And the truth is, I'm not going to lie. Being a content creator is lucrative.
Next month. So I have to look at November, December.
For how long? How long do you want? You know the thing about taking a sabbatical is the people always think that you have to do a whole year.
You're actually talking to this lunatic. You're actually engaging her.
No, that's what's killing me. Every time I say something, I'm like,
no, because I'm like, let me tell you why.
You just mentioned 20,000 zero.
No, let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. It's because I feel like whenever I talk about a sabbatical, people think you have to do a whole year. You don't. What if you wanted to do like a month, 3 months?
What are we talking about?
Okay, generally, let me not even talk to FK. Like, I'm just saying generally, right? When with people talk about taking time or like a gap year or whatever, or like a gap period. Everyone always thinks.
Had a gap year. Yeah. I had a gap year at the appropriate time. You're meant to have a gap year when your parents pay
I wish I did that, but I never did that, like out of uni and all that.
One sensible thing decided a gap year. I was just traveling or playing.
But that's what it should be. That's the, do you know the funny thing? That's what it should be.
I didn't find any myself or any other.
I don't know why you were
I just had a great time.
And that's fine.
But I told them that I'm thinking of myself and my past.
Because to other people, sometimes it's like you have to validate why you're not doing it.
So I said I wanted to check out different career paths. I still wanted to do engineering that I, like, because for 1 minute I didn't look into it ahead of time.
I get that. But I think that after I took it, one thing that I realized is people just kept asking me, okay, so what's the goal of this gap year? And I'm like, you guys are making it seem like it has to be something deep. Like, I just want to go and see what's happening outside.
In the world, man.
And
I want to
travel. But like, out of that came something, but it was not. It's funny because I'm used to working, right? Yeah. So I even had to force myself to not want to do anything in that year.
Did you ever feel like bad or lazy?
I felt so lazy. I'm not kidding. Like I talk about it.
You're just wasting opportunities in life.
After I quit my job, my old boss that works at Google messaged me and she's like, I have this job for you.
Yeah.
If you want to join my team.
Was this during the sabbatical?
It was literally 2 weeks after I quit.
Wow.
And she's like, if you want to join my team, you're going to have this job for a year. And I'm like, girl, like, because before I took it, I spoke to my people that I know that they have like a good career path. And I'm like, how will this affect me? Like if I decide to come back. And she was like, no, you have good work experience.
Yeah.
You will be fine. If you want to take it, take it. And so when she came to me to say, there's this job that I have for you, I was so tempted to just be like, let me just take it. And, I had all this money saved. The next best thing was to use it to do down payments for a house. Because people kept also asking me, oh, you should have used it to do down payments and stuff like that. So everyone was telling me, put this money aside for a down payment, or that just use it, now that you have it, just use it to like get your property and stuff like that. And I just kept thinking, if I get this property, the honest truth is that you don't stop working when you own property.
No.
Because there's mortgage, there's all of these things that you have to, like now it's a responsibility. Yeah. It's not just vibes. Like now it's a responsibility. But now I don't have kids. I don't have a husband. I don't have I don't own property. Like I don't have anything that's tying me down right now. this is the best. I'm outside. So like this was the best time for me to do this and then figure out what I'm going to do afterwards, right? But I'm really glad I did, because one thing that it showed me was that a lot of things that I thought that were that deep are not that deep. And for somebody like me, like just life in general, like I just used to think that I would not be happy if I didn't have so much money.
Things.
Like if I didn't have
your mind now.
Somewhat. Like there are things that I'm just like, if I don't have it now, it's okay.
Okay.
You know, like the pressure, it helped me to take a lot of pressure off of myself.
What were the things that helped you do that?
Honestly, it was like, okay, so for example, I didn't have steady income coming in.
Yeah.
Right? So if it was
we spoke about that.
I didn't have steady income coming in. Being a content creator, as creative as it is like you will go months without getting a job or like getting paid.
Yeah.
And I would just be like, you know what, you don't really need a new bag. Like it's not that deep.
Yeah.
Like a lot of things are not that deep. Yeah. Do I have food in my fridge? Do I have a roof over my head? Yes. So I started to realize that a lot of the things that I thought were making me happy were not actually as necessary as, you know, like I didn't have to buy a new shoe every week. Like it was just not that serious.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So for me, it was just like, okay, I can actually live life.
You wanted to do traveling,
I wanted to travel,
doing all that. So
I think that where I would have been sad is if I could not afford to travel.
Yeah.
But because I'd already saved for that, it made sense to me. But every other thing was just like, it was a want. It was not like, like I just said, a lot of things were not that deep.
Yeah.
Again. And I think that it really helped me because I used to be such an overthinker, overanalyzer. It's like, the way I see my life is like, I'm the eldest child and I've always been away from home.
Yeah.
I'm the child that figures it out. Like if you ask my parents, they'd be like, no, I'll be fine. She'll figure it out. I went to Canada. I knew nobody there. I went to do my master's. I finished. I graduated. I settled down. Like I figured things out.
Yeah.
And then I got to this place where it's just like, I was so tired. Like people don't think that those are big things.
But I was just crazy.
I was so exhausted, FK Angela. Like I was just like, I wake up in the morning. I'm like, what am I doing? I had this job that was paying well, but I was just like, okay, good. Like this is, I'm good. Like, do you understand? But I just woke up one day. I'm like, I need this break, and I need to know what do I like that brings me joy that is not an achievement or is not tied to an achievement. Because I realized that I was getting my high from, oh, you executed this project so perfectly. Or like when you're a content creator, the truth is that you get a lot of external validation online. Yeah. And that's where a lot of my happiness was coming from. And then I was just like, I don't like this. Like I was not happy at the core of it. And I was like, okay, I need a break. I need to figure out what I like. And I need to just chill. Yeah. I need to tell myself what is actually important to me. I didn't know what was important to me. I was just vibing. I was just doing life as I like. And then after I took my sabbatical or during my sabbatical, I traveled. I did one or two things. And then I just, at the end, I came out of the end of it. And now I don't have a job. And I'm not as stressed as I would have been. Because I just figured out that, okay, if I do this deal and I get like this money, I can pay my rent for next month. I'll be okay.
So you can do this one.
I can do this one. I can do that one. I can pick and choose. Yeah. And then I can do things that, in essence, make me happy for now. Obviously, when I start to think about like long-term goals and all those ones, that is where the stress comes in. Because now I'm like, everybody's buying a house. Okay, how much should I have used this money to buy a house? Okay, fine. You did not buy the house. You went to Jaye. Yeah. It's okay. We're here. But like at the end of the day, I think I'm just in that place where it's just like, as long as I'm alive.
And you're like happy.
I'll figure out everything.
Yeah. Can I just say, this is a complete sidebar before I come back to this. I feel just, again, I listen to a lot of rich people podcasts, which is just my favorite pastime in life.
Same, actually.
Honestly. The other day I was listening to, let me tell you the topic of the podcast. How rich people tell people who they're dating about how much money they have. You guys. The topic of conversation was, I tell Bessie I'm dating that you have $90 million. I said, I can relate to this.
I want to listen to that. Actually.
I said, the lessons I'm learning here. The lady was talking, and I said, you know what? Absolutely. That's what happens.
Can we switch? Okay,
but back to this. The thing I actually want to say is, I feel like I'm the only person that has less than zero interest in buying a house. I just feel like, for the time being,
like you're happy renting forever, or
not forever, but just like up until
it's not a big worry. It is
about root settling. I find, and so many of my friends are putting down deposits, and I'm always just like, sorry, I don't mean to be somehow. For what?
Oh, same. I'm like that too.
Like I just want to know what is happening.
Yeah.
Like what? Tell me the key, because we said that one of my friends was arguing with me. And then I said, see, I used to think this thing until I listened to somebody else explain it. Yeah. And I was like, let us table your cost. Yeah. It is far more expensive.
Especially like where I live now in Canada, like mortgage interest rates have doubled. And I just think to myself, if I owned property, I would
imagine being your own landlord. You're fixing pipes.
Sad right now because where will I find that money?
I
can't give the money back.
I think it's also like the reasoning. So a lot of reasons are technical, but a lot of reasons are emotional. So for instance, as a Nigerian, home ownership is built around nobody can chase you.
Yes.
Because we come from a culture where literally your landlord can come and just
you. Yes.
And so when people say, when you hear people talking about home ownership, it's like, this is my house, nobody can chase me. It's not always about like the value or...
You know why I think so? I think it's because of the Nigerian thing. Because buying a house here means having this much money.
Yeah.
There's no down payment. And so I feel like...
the down payment is 17 million. Okay.
I feel like my mind has become so accustomed to, in Nigeria, for now till a certain amount of time, I cannot buy the kind of house that I want to live inside. I can't buy it. So it has colored the way I look at, because, and then I look at the monthly payments and then the monthly payments of like rent, not just monthly payments abroad, monthly payments and monthly responsibilities.
Yeah.
There's nobody to call. You don't call anybody.
No, it's you, yourself and yourself.
So I'm always just like, okay, maybe, I don't know. I feel like there will be circumstances for which it becomes super important. Yeah. But like, as I am just me on my own now, they're not children that I'm trying to put in any house. Like, I don't need roots.
The weight of the responsibility.
It's something the weight of the responsibility. And like, obviously, it's very important for people to own homes and everything. But I just feel like with the amount of money that I have,
that can be your
And you know, the funny thing is that I realized that the reason I was even thinking about owning a home, because I've always been I'm going to rent till I'm in a situation where it's like it's double income. Like maybe me and my partner, we buy a home for our family.
Right.
I've always been pro. I'm a baby girl. I'm outside. I'm going to rent. Do you understand? But I realized that the reason why I started thinking about home ownership was because a lot of my friends were buying homes. But what I did not realize is that...
the rich nigga peer pressure?
No, but it's not that. But let me break it down to you, because I actually had to sit down and think about it. My friends that were buying homes were staying in their parents' homes in Canada that they were not paying rent.
They weren't paying rent like you. So expenses are different.
So the expenses were very different. Savings and I would look at them and be like, if that person can buy a house, I should be able to buy a house.
God bless you.
But then the truth is, they're living in their parents' house in Canada and they're not paying rent.
For sure.
But the other side of my friends that were buying is like they were married.
Yeah.
And I'm like, me, that I'm just a girl, I would just carry 100,000 and go and give somebody
and like,
to buy a house. Like, it just didn't correlate for me as to make such an investment, because it wasn't something that I wanted. It was something that it was peer pressure that would have made me do it.
It was like, oh, this is the conventional.
It's like, this is the next best thing. Yeah. You know, I've actually asked somebody has actually asked me, you've been in Canada for so long, you don't own any property. And I have to check myself because I felt bad because I'm like, I should own property. And then I was like,
but why?
Yeah. And then he was like, I just thought like by now you should be able to do something.
It's so funny. I had this exact conversation. Someone was like, they've been in London for so long. Why? And I was like, okay, run me through it.
Yeah.
For what?
It's a big expense.
Like, I want to know your plan now.
Yeah.
I don't move back to Lagos. Okay, investment property. Is that not the highest level of investment?
Yeah.
Where you are now, you're moving to a different country. You're starting a business, huge investment, unstable. You don't want to carry out of your small savings, use bulk of it to do a deposit somewhere so that when you go to London, you can have a house. So that eventually when they finish building it, there'll be rental income. And I'm just like, my bro.
All those things don't happen at once.
These priority things. Yeah. So anyway, that's an aside.
No, it's just, I just want people to think about it. It's like, why is it so important for you at this particular time to own such a big responsibility?
Apart from even owning homes, why is it important to you to do or achieve or acquire the things that you are saying?
Exactly.
So whatever is on your list. So I was talking to my little cousin yesterday and I was asking her like what her dream life looks like, and before she answered, I said, let me tell you something. The reason I'm asking you to do this thing is because she's younger and it's something I wish I had done earlier. Where it's like, it's not about, I want to have this money, I want to have this job. It's like, so I told her, for instance, when I realized how much I missed walking, it's when I realized that I can't live in Nigeria all around the year. Because that's not possible. The way I see that is not about walking on the road. There's a lifestyle I want to have. And that's not feasible here.
Yeah.
like mapping that out now tells you what you want, as opposed to like, okay, this is what people are meant to do next. If you are able to sit down and write out genuinely what your ideal life looks like, it's easier for you to be honest about what goals are real and what are the things that you just are doing because it's conventional wisdom.
Because the people say you should do it, or because you see other people doing it. Sure. I think that's another thing that I got out of like being honest, because there's so many times I answered that question like, could you not have used this money for something else? And I'm like, I could have, but I choose to use it for this particular thing that I am doing. And I genuinely am happy doing it. Like, don't make me doubt it. And then it'd be questions like, okay, so what will you do after? I'm like, if I'm alive, I'll figure it out.
I get you go. Do you know what you are doing after? Honestly. Let's hear what. Do you know? So I find all these things just super interesting. When like, you know, when you say things that people are like, oh, why? It's so funny because so many times we've actually not thought about it. We're just like, cool. I think that's why people are so fascinated that you took a sabbatical, because it kind of shakes what you, the path you think life is supposed to be following. What do you mean you're taking a year off?
Also, I think when you have, I would always take it back to what I know. Nigerians, we have what's the word I will use? Like when you think decisions are so monumental.
Yeah.
So there's this fear that what you've done is not like just taking a break. It's like you scattered your life plan. You scattered the trajectory. And now, you know, it's going to be a blank 1 year on your resume.
Yeah.
You know, like there's now, everything takes on a big... So it's like, even when... I remember when the idea of gap years came up, there was this fear of like, oh,
there's a huge gap in your...
to go universities. Like, now, the older I get, the more I realize that we come from an environment where, because our economy is just so trash, small, normal decisions take on like huge, weighty...
Everything
is high stakes. Everything is very, very high stakes. So, for instance, like, you don't drop that money to buy the property in... what was the bush has now become Lekki. And now see. Like, we have this very, like, everything is like a big...
Yeah, I get what you mean.
You didn't get into Loyola. Now, everything is just like it's such a crazy
super high stakes, and you're like, nothing can be this deep. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all. Hi, guys.
How you doing?
So MTN has something fantastic for you guys.
Haji.
Yes. If you're someone that loves like streaming, you know, like heavy duty
4K.
Yeah, like you're a gamer.
HD.
You like watching all your like shows.
People are testing internet speed.
Yes. You listen to the podcast and you don't want to be
you don't want to be seeing things circling around on your screen.
Yes.
You want everything to load up and move quickly. Then what you need is MTN's 5G router.
Yes, you can get up to 1 gigabyte per second. Like, that is
111.
Boom. Boom. And you can play games, you can stream, you can do whatever you want. Like. But we personally suggest that you use it to listen to the greatest podcast on the planet.
And it moves super quickly. And once you just do like this, bam, you're in.
Yeah.
Where can they find you can get it at any MTN store or on the website.
shop.mtn.ng.
Yes.
Happy streaming, happy listening, happy playing,
happy 5G,
happy watching, happy MTN. God bless Nigeria.
Bye.
Bye.
Anywho, I wanted to get into Friday. So, like, when did the spark moment? You know, people always have a spark. Spark, Eureka.
Where did the
genuinely, everybody says I'm the insane one.
No, I've always known that FK is the crazy one.
Light bulb.
The thing happened. I think it was all that 2021. I think I was just doing it. What are you doing with your life analysis? Like, what's going on here? Okay, you say you want to do... I did engineering in school. I not do it. I say, okay, now I'm doing tech.
So plenty.
If I tell you, I don't know what I did in chemical engineering.
Anyways,
we shall say we're doing tech.
One thing.
I was doing it. I was good at it. I was like, okay, but what is the, like...
Where are we
going here? And the funny thing is that I'm the kind of person that I'm very comfortable just following the narrow road. Like, I can keep going straight, and as long as there's no bump, I'll keep going straight. Like, I'm quite type A. I'm very like, this is how things should be done. I'm organized. I have goals. I hate to say, but I'm a Capricorn.
Yeah.
So it's like things are almost like this way or no way. And so when I started thinking about Friday, actually what happened was that in during the pandemic, I put on so much weight. I hated my entire wardrobe. And I was like, I just wish I didn't have to buy everything from scratch again. Like my tops were not fitting, my bottoms were not fitting. I'd gone up 2-3 sizes at some point. I was just like, I hate my body, I hate my clothes, I hate everything, right? And so I was like, it would be so nice if I had a clothing brand if I just owned a clothing brand, right? The initial point was just that I wish I had somebody that would just make my clothes custom. Not even a clothing brand. Like I just wish I had somebody that I would just be like, a tailor that would just be doing my own outfits. And I'm like, do you know what would be nice if I had a clothing brand that I didn't have to like, everything doesn't have to like feel so tight, so constricted that I could grow into. And that's when I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to start Fade. Before that, me and my sister were like, wanted to start something called Mary and Edith. And it was also a clothing brand, but we just never really kicked off on it. And then when I thought about Fade, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. And the goal of this clothing brand is that you would have the pieces in your wardrobe for seasons to come. That's why a lot of our pieces are not very tight. It's things that you can grow into. They're like easy wardrobe, easy clothes. You throw them on, you go about your day, you can dress them up, you can dress them down. So that was kind of like it. I was like, I just want clothes that I don't have to feel like throwing away just to buy a whole new set of wardrobe. So what happened was I thought about that. But at this point, I was also thinking about my sabbatical. So I was like, okay, how are we going to figure out the funding for this brand? Because it was going to be self-funded, and I was not going to I didn't want to take money from like anybody. I just wanted to figure it out myself. And so I put it as part of my sabbatical plans. So when I was saving for my sabbatical, I was saving on the side for it. And I'm going to be very honest with you guys. The reason why I was able to save this much is because on my level as a content creator in Toronto, it is very lucrative. Yeah. Like I'm not going to sit down here and say, oh, I was this. There are some deals that I did that I know that it paid handsomely well.
Yeah. I'll never forget in my life.
There's one figure how Alma told me that
I was in my car.
I shook. She was like, because prior to that, I thought, we're all friends. Shebi also doing content now. They do podcasts. Alma is also doing all of us. We're all there.
Content.
She just said King Kong. I said
she was in my car. She was like, her managers or her agents are got something and she's not happy. Meantime, they follow the Mumu talk, say, it's not easy. Alma's agent now called her. When I heard the number, I said, blood. I
told me that. You see, Alma, we just think that we're all on the same page.
I could not believe that. Alma's agent was not like, that, I think we should just start with this.
Yeah.
Alma said, I'll think about it. I thought to say, hey, don't think, do, my sister. I'm not girlfriend. I'm not saying, I'm not just, who knows? Who knows?
Oh my God.
I don't.
Yeah.
And I don't fake him, doesn't know because
every time I talk to like my friends who are doing content creation like in London, I just forget that like we don't live the same. So you'll be telling me something and I'll be discussing with you as if like, I also understand what I'm discussing. And what
I will never forget.
She won't even get out of bed for less than. I said, in fact, without money, we are jumping. We're out of bed. We're out of home.
Oh my God.
My family will jump with me. It's a family jumping.
I will wake everybody in my house up. Everybody will be out of bed.
Oh God, that's so fun. That's funny. You guys
Bro.
No, but for real, it was those kind of things. So that kind of deal that deal paid for Fadi. So it was things like that. No, but I have to be honest because I feel like when I don't like to come off as I was like, no, I was really.
A lot of people like to form like.
No, I'm not going to. And I had a very good paying 9-to-5 job. Like I was a senior. I was a senior at my role going to director. I wasn't like doing like entry level roles. So at that point, it was like the money was coming from like different places. It was just how am I going to manage and save it? Mm-hmm. So at that point, I was like, okay, so this deal, when I took that deal, I was like, this is going to pay for Fadi and we're going to put that money aside. Yeah. And I'm very good with money management. If I say this money is for something, I'm not touching it. I'm not using it to do anything else. That's what that money is for. So that's how Fadi started. And then on my sabbatical, I remember like I was traveling and I was asking my friends that also have clothing brands. Like when I came to Lagos, I sat and I had a whole conversation with Rennie of Rendell. And then I had a conversation with Fisayo as well. And I'm like, girl, how did you do this? How did you do something? And I love that because they were also helpful. Like, I remember like just tweeting one day that manufacturers are like stressing me out, and Face messaged me and she's like, oh, this is how you do this and do this. And so that was great as well. Like I could speak to people that had already been in the industry and they were doing what I wanted to do. And yeah, like I did my sampling and then we launched in May of this year, our first collection, our Anchor collection. And I'm super happy that I did it because nothing gives me more joy right now than seeing people wear fadi. Like I know that it's such a cliche thing to say, but just looking at it and be like, oh, Alma, you said you were going to do something and you actually did it. It gives me so much joy and fulfillment. And I don't think I would have done this if I didn't take my sabbatical. I wouldn't have had the time to do it.
Your mind wouldn't have
My mind wouldn't have been there. My job wouldn't have let me. It would have been too much.
Jobs at the same time.
And so I'm really glad that I took that time and I was like, okay, this is what I want to do. And I did it. And yeah, I'm like, now it's like our first collection is out. I'm slowly starting to sample our second collection. I'm like, this is what I do. And I love it because for someone that is I'm so tied to certainty. Like uncertainty makes me uneasy. I like the fact that this is making me a bit uncomfortable. Like I don't know what tomorrow is going to say. Like I don't know what it is. I think that's why a part of me really wants to go back to my 9 to 5 because I need something that I can know what's happening the next day. You know, like I don't do very well with uncertainty. Like, okay, what do you mean there's no money coming in for 2 months? Like it's driving me a little bit nuts. But as I said, part of it is just like, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
You will figure it out.
So the moral of the story is content creation. I'm just joking. No, but
hustling.
No, but like you said, I think what is important because people will start acting crazy. You don't need to take a whole year.
You don't need to take a whole year.
Figure out. I think the important thing is like figure out what you want to do. Stick to exactly what you want to do. So she wanted to travel and do this.
Yeah.
If you're on that, you want to be lying down in your house, you want to buy a new bed,
rest.
very comfortable bed so that you can lie down.
I have a friend that's currently planning to take 3 months.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm going to start with 3 months, see how I feel. Then maybe I'll do 6 months.
I think the key is like figuring out what you want to do and then like calculating it and planning towards it.
The hardest part, I would say, is doing the math. But you have to sit down and be very like honest with yourself. If you're like, I can't do this thing where it's like, I'm not eating pasta and lobster every 3 weeks. Then you have to budget it in and be like, every 3 weeks I'm eating pasta and lobster. And then you figure out how to save the money. There's this girl that I know I follow on TikTok too, that she's currently on a sabbatical. And what she does is that she travels and then she picks up like bartending jobs in the countries that she goes. So she doesn't do short stays. She will go to a country and stay for like a month.
Right. And
then she will work there. But then the work is never full time. It's like just something to make sure that she has food and like she meets with the locals. It doesn't have to be rigid. You can really make it what you want. And it doesn't have to be like a whole year. It could be 3 weeks. Sorry, it could be 3 months. It could be like 2 months, whatever it is that you can stomach and just do that.
Yeah. I think it's a lovely idea.
I'm going to do it again. I can't wait to do it again. Oh my God.
It's your goat. Say do that.
I hate my friends so much. I can't stand it. People don't rate me anymore. But yes, no, I genuinely just
I'll let you guys know about my sabbatical coming up.
Please, where can people find you, my sister?
You can find... I don't like that you don't have faith in FK.
Don't mind her. Do you know that's always the problem? And I'll shock you people.
Don't worry.
I'll shock you people. My sabbatical. Let me tell you the only problem I'm going to have, sincerely, about this sabbatical. Now, what you said, okay, you don't want to we might not be in 5-star hotel, but it's not fancy, but it's nice. That's why I'm going to have a serious problem.
Oh, no,
because let me tell you the sabbatical I want to have, dream. I want to go to all the Ritz, the 11 Ritz, and 1 Shangri-La. So how long will it take me to save for that sabbatical?
Those Parker.
Please, you can find me at... Fake at me. Your own is not... I'm not even listening to it again. Look, I'm really fighting for you. Please, what do you say?
So how can they find you,
My personal Instagram is the Alma Chronicle, and my Fadi's Instagram is Shop Fadi Clothing. That's where you can find me. Yeah.
Lovely. All
is there anything else we have to say?
I think so. Follow Alma, Shop Fadi.
Shop Fadi, please. We're looking for money.
Yeah.
Wow, we're really doing these 2 episodes thing. Shocking me.
I'm actually shocked too. I'm proud of you.
Let me know that.
Thanks,
I'm
babe.
too shocked.
Thanks, babe.
But fair enough.
All right, guys, you know what?
Sabbatical.
You guys know what to do. Like, subscribe, follow, do the things.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello, boys and girls.
No, hello.
Okay.
No hello for them.
Okay.
This is not for
boys and girls only.
Boys and girls. I want to ask you a simple question.
Very simple.
Why are 40-something% of you that watch this thing not subscribed?
Very good.
Is it fair?
Very good.
Is it
other people's channels that you don't listen to every week, you subscribe to them?
Free
Look what we do for you.
Do you pay? You come here, we make fools of ourselves every week.
Having a great time. Subscribe early. I don't understand it.
Why would you do that?
Is it right?
No. In case you don't know, no. It's not right. Okay? So now, you see that button. Nobody will beat you. Okay, do you know what? You can even cover.
Do it in a shy,
do it in a
mysterious way.
So nobody will
just, oh my God.
Click on the subscribe.
Oh my God.
That's all. God bless you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.